What's good? What's good? What's good, baby? It's your boy, True X the Sports Junkie. Welcome to the Nbs Show. The WNBA has been lit. Oh, you don't want to look at us now. But of course, we here to talk about all these sports, man. Of course, I got my brother Keo in the building, the other WNBA fan. Alyssa Thomas. Oh, Brittany Griner. Oh.
Yeah, man. And the blockbuster trade, man. Kelsey Plum gets moved, man. Also Jewel Lloyd, also,
Yup,
man.
yup.
We'll talk about that at the towards the end of the
No
show.
doubt, of course. I will give my brother his props, man. I'm actually watching the game and I'm like, bruh. I already know this fool gonna text me because I remember on the show him saying the score. I said this fool's gonna text me and say something crazy, and lo and behold, he texts me and say, "Yeah, Mr. Box Office predicts these things right." He did say 32-29 in the Chiefs Bills game. Salute to him. What up, Mr. Box Office?
Hey man, this is what I mean by box office. This is exactly what we mean by box office. How does one predict the exact score of an AFC title game?
Oh
So,
God.
if y'all need the score for the Super Bowl, y'all want to put money down. I got you. I'm gonna make y'all rich. I'm gonna make y'all wealthy. Just let me know. I'll let y'all know the score. So yeah, man, that was spot on. Exactly the game I expected. It's also bittersweet though. We're near the end of football season. So we're just gonna enjoy the Super Bowl, man. That's all we got until September.
Let me ask you this before we go any farther, and I know Keel's gonna jump the topics off. Real, for real, for real. How many games have you actually called the exact score that you can remember in the last 10 years?
Probably like 5 games.
Wow, okay. I only remember one I've ever predicted the exact score.
I actually predicted the right score of like one other NFL game this year and like one other college game. So it's actually been like more recent. But like last 10 years, bro, it's been like 5 games. Like I actually one thing about me. Whenever we pick games, I'm always like, "What do y'all think is the score?" Because it
Right,
like puts in my head like what kind of game you expect,
right.
and I like knowing that. So I'd say like 4 or 5 games.
Keel, how many you've predicted correct in the last 10 years? It's so like to get the
I'm
game right is
I'm
one
pretty
thing. To
sure
predict the score
I'm
is
pretty sure I
crazy.
predicted right, but I just can't remember off top.
You
Like
know,
I
you know which one I got right?
what?
And you can go back and actually look on my page because everybody went crazy when I got it right. When Tyron Matthew was at LSU, I predicted the exact score in that LSU Oregon game to open up the season.
And they blew
Oh,
him out, right?
Yeah, they blew him out.
Yeah, I remember that game. Yeah. But yeah, man, I think you've probably gotten even more over the years. You just don't remember
Yeah,
or you didn't
yeah.
pay attention to that. But yeah, man, that AFC title game went exactly how I thought. No one had Philly scoring 55 though.
No, no. I think we all had Philly, but I think C, just because we're gonna talk about it in a second. Go ahead.
Yeah.
all right, man. So episode 77. I made a mistake, but we are live on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, by the way. Um, so we're going off with our first topic for tonight, man, and it's been the Kansas City Chiefs. They beat the Buffalo Bills, man. What's your reactions and thoughts on this? What's up?
You got it.
Well, it went exactly how I thought. I didn't expect much different. Look, I said that the Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl, man. I said it when we were doing the playoff predictions. You can't go against the Chiefs in these moments, man. They're in Kansas City. The only two that have beaten Mahomes in the playoffs are Brady and Burrow. That's it. I didn't think this was the best Bills teams the best Bills team that has played Mahomes. I understand they beat him earlier in the season, but That's a regular season game. Um, it went back and forth like I thought. I thought they ran the ball really well with James Cook. But at the end of the day, when it's time to make the biggest plays, Mahomes does it every time, man. He had a couple screens to P. Ryan to Kareem Hunt. And then they kept getting Buffalo with those uh, play action rollouts. Mahomes took advantage of that. This was actually his first ever playoff game with 2 rushing touchdowns. So he was big with his legs. Um, Xavier Worthy has been huge for the Chiefs. He's not like a Malik Neighbors or a Marvin Harrison in terms of you just put him out wide and depend on him that way. He's a gadget player for the Kansas City Chiefs, and it fits their system perfectly. This is why when going back to the draft, I thought they would draft him because I was like, look, this is exactly a Andy Reid type of player. He was huge. 6 catches, 85 yards, a touchdown. He had 2 carries as well. He scored. He also said, I'm on a mission specifically this game because Buffalo passed up on me. Um, so, honestly, I think it went exactly how I thought. Um, Josh Allen played well, but he had to be Superman. He had to be 4 touchdowns to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And that's what it's going to take from probably Jalen Hurts if they shut down Saquon Barkley. They're going to need a Superman effort from the quarterback. So, um, I don't know, man. It went exactly how I thought, so I can't say I'm surprised by anything.
Okay, well, I was the one on here that picked the Buffalo Bills to beat the Chiefs. My whole logic was behind it was nobody's ever won 3 Super Bowls in a row. And I just, even though it was Patrick Mahomes, I know he has to get, I mean, obviously he's going to get there. We don't know, if he's going to win the Super Bowl or not. But I was just like, man, it's never happened. So I'm going to go again. I'm going to go with history saying that, oh, well, he ain't even going to get there. Because if he gets there, it's going to be hard for me really not to pick him because he got there. So I thought Buffalo would have an opportunity. They almost had a chance. And then they come out with 3 receivers to the left and then P. Ryan sneaks out the backfield, and I'm saying to myself, golly, they gotta stop it. And they didn't stop it. I felt like if Josh Allen can get the ball back, I felt like he could bring them down and score. Unfortunately, to be honest with you, they wasn't really that good on third and fourth downs. That's really where the game kind of folded for the Bills, in my opinion. Shout out to the Chiefs. Kudos to Coach Spagnolia. He drew up some fire stuff, man, in critical situations, and that defense came through for him. The last, I think it was the fourth and what it was when Dalton Kincaid could have caught it. That was a fourth and what 7, I think,
I
something
think
like
it's a
that.
fourth
11,
and five, I think.
something like that. It was something like that. But play was crazy. They tried to slide the protection to the left. They should have slid it to the right. And Kincaid had a shot at it, but ultimately, the Chiefs, man, the team that figures out a way to win under different circumstances and all circumstances. So shout out to them. I am a little surprised just because, man, the Chiefs are back in it again. Golly. But kudos to them. I don't know who I'm going to pick for the Super Bowl. I know we're not doing predictions today. Man,
I do.
I know who
I,
you're
d-
picking.
I do. Don't be an idiot. Um. All right, man. It's pretty simple, man. I did pick the Bills also in this game. The only reason I picked the Bills, man, I was turning the corner for Josh Allen, man. I've been against him the last 3 seasons, including the start of this season, and I said, okay, I'm starting to believe in Allen. He's carrying this team. He's the reason why they definitely overachieved this season. Nobody expected them to be where they're at. But obviously, um, when it comes down to it, man, it's the Kansas City Chiefs at the end of the day. I think deep down, The Kansas City Chiefs knew they were going to win this game. The Buffalo Bills, I'm not sure if they were confident that they could have won this game. And you can't leave any type of margin for the Kansas City Chiefs because this team, as far as Patrick Mahomes goes, all he does is as since he's been the starter when it comes to 7 year span, he's been to every AFC Championship game and Super Bowl trips. That's all the guy knows. And when he has somebody like Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo, it's tough to beat this team, and you can't make those type of mistakes, man. I j- and that's tough for the Buffalo Bills. And they lose to them again. You could point a lot of fingers in this situation. You could say the coaching. You could say you maybe the play calling. You could say how could you not knew the corner blitz was coming on that fourth down play because Spagnola wasn't just gonna sit there and let Josh Allen pick them. They weren't gonna do that, and obviously they came with the blitz and they had players that made plays. It wasn't just the Travis Kelce's, and you know they had um um they had guys like Juju Smith showed up. They had guys like P Ryan, who you picked up from free agency, showed up. And the Bills, they do everything. The Buffalo Bills, they do everything that the Chiefs try to do. They always try to counter it. And I think this year, even though we didn't know, they knew that they had what it took to beat the Kansas City Chiefs this year. We might have not thought that, but they thought that because going into the draft, the Bills traded with the Chiefs. They got Xavier Worthy. Guess what Buffalo did? With their following pick, they went to get Keon Coleman. Um, you go to during the season when the Bills made a move on DeAndre Hopkins. Guess what the Bills did? They made a move and got a veteran wide receiver with Amari Cooper. So they felt like they had what it take to get it done. And obviously, it was not the case. You just cannot make those type of mistakes when when you're the Buffalo Bills and you're going against a team like the Kansas City Chiefs. You just cannot do that. And I'm not sure what they can do to overcome this, man, because when you're losing, when you have four straight losses, uh, when you have four straight losses against the Kansas City Chiefs, that you just gotta find a way to figure things out. Hey, somebody's background's loud, so please lower it. Um, but yeah, you just gotta find a way. You just gotta find a way to figure things out when it comes to that, man. And I know people feel sorry. I know people feel sorry for the Buffalo Bills. People sorry for Josh Allen. I don't. I don't feel sorry at all. I mean, on to the next big game, man. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But but kudos to the Buffalo Bills though, man. Like they like I said, they definitely overachieved. I did not expect them to be there, and obviously we didn't expect them to be there because our AFC title games in our preseason predictions was completely different, nowhere close to this. But yeah, definitely shout out to the Bills, but the Chiefs advance once again.
Actually, question to see. What
See,
up, see?
Whoa, what's the
see,
deal?
see,
The
what,
show
what
has begun. I'm here.
See, what's your thoughts on the Bills and the Chiefs outcome for this for the AFC title game?
Hey man, didn't we know this was gonna happen? I looked at when the score was 29-29 with 4 minutes left, and Josh Allen had the ball, and I said, listen, if he thinks he's gonna win this game this close with 4 minutes left against the NFL's favorite team, he can cancel it. I already knew it. I said, and even well, no, that Kansas City actually had the ball, and they end up not getting a first down. And I was like, I don't give a damn. They're gonna kick a field goal and they're gonna win by 3. And, and sure enough, They gave the ball back to Josh Allen. He couldn't connect with Kincaid. And hey, bro, like as I said, Kansas City won by 3. I don't think anybody had any outside of actual Bills fans. I don't think anybody was watching that game with 4 minutes left, thinking that the Bills were going to win that game. Just knowing the pedigree that the Kansas City Chiefs have created for themselves, and how they've been squeaking out games all year. All year they've been doing this. So if it's close at the end of the game, you already know what the deal is. Mahomes is gonna win.
Yeah, man. When the Chiefs scored that touchdown, and then Josh Allen responded back with that drive, which was impressive. When the Chiefs got the ball, I was like, "Hey, Kansas City, Kansas City about to go down there. They're either gonna kick the field goal or they're gonna have a touchdown." And obviously, that's what happened. And the moment that the Bills got the ball back, I was like, yeah, Kansas City's gonna stop. But after that first play I saw from the Bills ran, I was like, oh yeah, they ain't getting far with that.
And I hate to do this, but I want to say, shout out to the Buffalo Bills, but the Buffalo Bills fans. I saw some people calling in on some sports show talking about they were cheated. Let me tell you something. And I know we even did a topic on this last week or a week before. We did it recently.
Last week.
At the end of the day, no, you wasn't cheated. You wasn't cheated. You lost the game.
Yep.
I don't want to hear nothing about nobody crying. Dalton Kincaid dropped the ball. Not only that, you had him on 3rd and long, and you let P. Ryan slip out and get the first down. No excuses. No excuses. The Buffalo Bills lost the game. And I can say the Kansas City Chiefs won the game. And it was not because of the refs, because the refs gave them calls. You may not agree with all the calls. You may have thought it was a first down, but it wasn't clear. Not in my mind. I thought it was a 50-50 call, and they went Kansas City's way. And maybe some people feel like it shouldn't have went their way, but that's not why you lost the game. You had an opportunity to win the game, and you didn't do it. The Chiefs are moving on.
It's like a heavyweight fight. It's like a boxing match. You got to beat the champs. You got to make it undeniable. There's no way. All right, there's no way possible. Like I tell my kids that when they playing on the team, I'm like, look, you want to get on the field, you want to get in the game, you got to make yourself undeniable. You got to make sure that everybody's looking at you and like, hey man, they need to put that kid in, right? You know what I'm saying? You have to make yourself undeniable. To win that game, it was going to have to be undeniable that you couldn't, that they were obviously cheating.
And that's the same thing you mentioned about boxing. See, the one thing they can't do, you can blame the refs all you want. Do not leave it in their hands, man.
Right.
Don't find a way to make excuses to leave it in their hands. Like for boxing, you gotta beat your opponent convincingly, where the judges will be like, okay, this guy won very clearly. I don't even need to think about it. And
even then, in boxing, you get robberies.
Yeah, like the Olympics are the greatest robbers ever. Two of the greatest, Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather Jr. So
yes, I mean you don't want to leave it in the hands of the judges. And I just felt like Buffalo. I don't want to hear no excuses. I'll pick Buffalo to win. No excuses. Kansas City won that game.
All right, man. Let's move on over to our next topic, man. And it is about Josh Allen, man. So plain and simple, man. A lot of people are feeling bad for Josh Allen right now. 0-4 against Mahomes and the Chiefs. Should Josh Allen get a pass?
Let me go first. HE double hockey sticks, no. Hell no, he don't get no pass. Why should he get a pass? For what? What has he done to get a pass? He's only gone out there and lost. He hasn't won. He hasn't been robbed. None of these calls are bad. He just has not done enough to beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. And you can't lie like, okay, his team sucked. Everybody else left and let him down. Nope. They balled just like him. They all played at the same level. Nobody just sucked. Can't say, oh, he didn't have any help. He has the same wide receivers that he had all year that he was killing people with. So he had James Cook out there running, the same person that's been running for him all year. So why when it get to the Chiefs, we supposed to give you a pass. No, sir. You had the same weapons. I know you felt confident going into the game, but you just didn't pull it off. You didn't pull it off. With somebody like that, with the Chiefs, like I said, you have to go out there and play more than your A game. You got to go play. You got to start playing numbers. You got to go past A and start turning it from the alphabets to numbers. You got to go pay 100. All right, so you can't give him a pass. He don't get a pass for that. If he gets a pass for that, we got to start giving passes to everybody who can't beat their rival. Right?
See, I got a question for you. You're a basketball coach or a football coach. Has there been a high school football or basketball team that you guys could never beat, and one day you guys finally beat them?
Well, in my high school playing days, from 7th grade till 12th grade, we could never beat Neville High School. Could never beat Neville High School. My senior year, we went there. They were the defending state champions, and we beat their ass. In there on their home field, and it was a great game, and we pissed on their field before we left. Got on the bus.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Hey, because it hurt to lose to the boys every year, for 4 years, 5 years. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, 5 years. We lost to them boys, and we knew all the kids that played over there from middle school all the way to high school. So they talking to us before the game. Man, look, bro, it hurt to lose to those people 5 times in a row. So I can imagine how Allen feel. But we won ours. You gotta win yours. Piss on the field after.
Go ahead, Box Office. I'll let you go.
Go ahead, Yvonne.
Okay. He doesn't get a pass. He doesn't get a pass because he's the quarterback, and when quarterbacks win games, even if they don't play the best, we give them props. But at the same time, I don't know what else Josh Allen could do, though. I really don't. Because even if you go back to that AFC title game when the Chiefs went to the Super Bowl, he scored to Gabe Davis with 13 seconds left. And these fools still get in field goal range and win the game after. So it's like sometimes you play really well, you lose, and like what else can you do? I looked at his playoff stats. I always go back to his playoff stats because his playoff stats are nasty. 32 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. I mean, if somebody did that in the preseason, in the regular season, you'd be like, wow, great year. And he does everything he does in the regular season. He matches in the playoffs. He doesn't turn the ball over. Go ahead, see.
Well, from what you said, and this is really where my thinking came from. I should have used that example. He already used his pass. Everybody gave him a pass because what could he have done against Mahomes when Mahomes drove him down there in 13 seconds? He did what he had to do. He lost that game on the sidelines. So that was his pass.
I think everybody outside of Keo gave him a pass for that.
Their excuse with that was Josh Allen. Hey, we didn't get the ball back. What would have happened if we got the ball back? So this game, there was 2 minutes plus 3 timeouts. You got to get it done.
Well, the thing is, I will say on that Kincaid throw and drop pass, I blame that 50-50 because the throw could have been better, but it was a blitz where you have to throw it off his back foot. So he made the best throw you could possibly make from that position. Kincaid also has to catch that.
Right.
So it was 50-50 to me on that play. It's just hard for me because 32 touchdowns, 4 interceptions in the playoffs. His only losses are Mahomes and Burrow one time. So there's no shame there. Everybody loses to Mahomes. I didn't have the Bills winning. So it's like, for me, I didn't expect it from you. So it's kind of hard because Lamar Jackson, to me, struggles. So then we can blame it on him. Peyton Manning back in the day used to stink it up against the Patriots. I'm a Colts fan. He would throw an interception at the most crucial time. So you could blame those on Peyton Manning. Josh Allen doesn't make those mistakes. and they just can't pull it out. So
They just losing to the better team.
they're just losing to the better team. It is what it is. I do have to give him some blame though, because he is the quarterback, and if they had won, we'd be like, Josh Allen did that. So I'm struggling because he doesn't struggle in these games and he loses, but so it's hard for me to like really say, damn, like you could have done but so much more.
I have no problem with what you're saying. I don't, but I do give him, blame. I'm gonna tell you why, and I'm gonna use your example in a sense, and then I'm gonna use some other guys to try to bring it in. When LeBron James didn't win a championship, nobody wanted to hear that. Nobody wanted to hear you didn't get it done. He could have 30, 10 and 10. At the end of the day, when he lost, well, LeBron, you're the best player in the world, but that doesn't mean you're the best team in the world. You lose, we still held him accountable. When are you going to get it done? When are you going to get it done? Right now, to this day, we still hold Chris Paul accountable, even though his teams were never better than Golden State or San Antonio. We still hold James Harden accountable when James Harden's teams ain't better than Golden State at the time, when Golden State was on their thing. We hold Russell Westbrook accountable. Now, granted, Russ had a good team at one time. I get all that. But for the most part, we hold these guys accountable. So when I look at Josh Allen, I say to myself, if you're going to be the guy that we think you are, and really, according to the numbers, no, you are, you still got to get it done. Burrow got it done. Burrow got it done in Arrowhead. Now, granted, he didn't go to the playoffs this year, but he got it done. You have to figure it out somehow, some way. You, McDermott, Brady, y'all need to come together and come up with a masterful game plan to get over the hump. Because right now, we can't say this year, oh, you didn't have Stephon Diggs. Well, guess what? You had Stephon Diggs some other times, and you lost. So at some point, you have to get over the hump. So, yes, I'm going to hold him accountable only because of how great he is. This is no knock to Josh Allen. This is actually looking at him and saying, dude, you're Superman. You can't keep losing. You have to overcome this. I understand that may be your kryptonite, but you got to figure out a way to beat this, because until you do, we're going to keep saying to ourselves, yeah, you're great, but we're always going to say about him. And, the same thing can be said about everybody that didn't win a championship. Yeah, you're great, but you didn't get it done in this moment. You didn't get it done in this moment. So if we're going to hold LeBron and all those guys accountable, I just think that we have to hold Josh Allen accountable. Lamar, he falls more into that James Harden range, in my opinion, because Lamar plays great in the regular season, and in the postseason, he kind of, what happened, Lamar? And that's kind of what James
Yeah, he
Harden
played good this year.
He was okay this year. Yeah, he's pretty good. But as a whole, that's what I mean.
I like that comparison, the LeBron comparison you just gave. It made me start thinking about what other players do we give a pass to, and am I wrong, or do we give a pass to KD?
Well, KD got a ring.
KD got a ring with the Warriors. He's never got a ring with his own.
But he still got one. He still got one.
And he was Finals MVP twice.
And he's done that with the Warriors with Steph Curry. Has he done? He's been on two different teams after then, and he's not been able to do anything.
I just think like once you get a ring, that pass, it's like you go away from it. Once you have that ring, once you have that championship, it's kind of like, okay, we're gonna stop focusing on that person. Now we're focused. I understand what you're saying, because he hasn't won since, but still, he has one. So we're not so much concerned with him right now. When you think about Russ Harden in basketball, and then when you think about the football players, Burrow, Josh Allen, they're going to fall into that Marino range. Yeah, you're great, but you still didn't win a ring. And the same thing could be said about Russ, Chris Paul, and all those guys.
Russ like that? You think people think Russ should have a championship?
You need a ring if you want to be into that next echelon.
I don't think people put Russ in that category with a KD and LeBron and all of them, and okay, he should have a ring by now. Harden.
Yeah, I don't, certainly. But I do think KD gets flack though.
He gets flack for other things, not having been able to lead a team to the championship.
But this is what I said about Russ. I know y'all both don't feel like Russ gets, but had Russ won a ring, dude, Russ has triple-double for the entire season. It would bring him to like a new height. he would be on a whole
we we we
different.
we, we would look at his
Yeah,
legacy differently, though.
Well, yeah,
Like,
Yeah, but I'm saying,
everybody.
but my point is, I don't think I don't think when I say we, I love Russ. But I don't think people expect him to be have led
Yeah.
a team to the championship. I don't think those expectations have been put on him. Therefore, they judge him off of being Robin instead of Batman.
right.
He didn't win when he had KD with him. He didn't win. He had Paul George with him. He didn't win. You know what I mean? People
Yeah.
always think about who he was with, and he didn't get a ring. If they thinking about him getting a ring, but other than that, they look at him getting blamed for sucking in LA and all that type of stuff. I don't think people like, oh yeah, Russ should have a ring by now. He's not gonna be. He's not one of the greatest. I think that people just don't. I think people take the triple double thing for granted, and he's not looked at as one of the greatest. Period.
I
he's
just
not
don't want Josh Allen to
appreciated
fall
enough.
into that realm.
Right.
All right, man. When it comes to Josh Allen, it's pretty simple for me, man. Josh Allen's biggest moment was in that damn AFC Championship game where they lost that game, obviously, and all I've been hearing was Josh Allen didn't get the ball. 13 seconds left. Who knows what would have happened because the Chiefs couldn't stop them in that title game. Now we fast forward to what happened this past weekend. You had 2 minutes plus in that game with 3 timeouts. You got the ball back down by 3. You got to make something happen. The amount of yards and completions that Josh Allen had in that game was as much as when the Chiefs was trying to burn that clock out until Mahomes hit that past the P line. I just can't give Josh Allen a pass on this one, man. I just can't. I'm sorry, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people expected me to say this, but I got them hold them accountable. Obviously, we did not expect them to be there. Like the way people talk about Josh Allen, obviously he's always when it comes to Allen, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Patrick Mahomes. As of right now, in this era, they're 1, 2, and 3. There's no, I don't think there's no way anybody could spin that. Sure, you could make an argument for Lamar, but from consensus, from what I see from the general public and a lot of media bloggers out there, Burrow, Mahomes, Burrow, and Allen is 1, 2, 3, and Josh Allen is going to be stuck at that 2 and 3 or 3 and 2, wherever you want to place him. He's always going to be stuck there until he beats Patrick Mahomes. Looked at the beginning of the game when the Bills first got the ball. The Bills look kind of, they look kind of off in the beginning of that drive. Josh Allen's 2 passes, those could have been interceptions. They could have been or should have been.
That's a
Josh
fact.
Allen, they had 4 fumbles. They were all recovered. You could say majority of those fumbles was by Josh Allen. Josh Allen went 1 for 8, only completed 4 yards when he was under pressure. When they got the ball back, they got to do something with that, man. If it's the play calling, and how could you not know that the blitz was coming by Steve Spagnuolo on 4th down? They had to do some type of counter with that, and it just that last drive that they did, the way they responded, the play calling of it, I just that's just wasn't it, man. And you gotta respond to back to the Kansas Chiefs like that. And they had a couple opportunities also when they turned that ball over. That defense just couldn't stop it. And I'm not putting the full blame on Josh Allen, but yes, I do gotta hold him accountable, and I do gotta blame certain aspects of the team when it comes to the coaching, when it comes to Joe Brady's play calling. I kind of question some of his play calling also when it comes to the defense. So I'm not putting the full blame on Josh Allen, but I can't give Josh Allen the pass on this one, man. Yeah, 0-4. He has the most playoff wins by a quarterback who has not reached a Super Bowl appearance. That's
I,
crazy, man.
I like one thing you said, and I guess I never put it into that perspective when I was watching the game because I'm thinking go down there and score. But you tell me 3 timeouts, down 3, and all you need is a field goal to tie the game, and he couldn't get that. Had that been Lamar, oh my God, he would have went crazy. I'm just being real. We have to be honest with ourselves. So yeah, 3 timeouts, and you have the ball, and all you really need is 3. I mean, of course, a touchdown, that's what you want because you want to win the game. But at least tie the game. And for whatever reason, he didn't get it done. And
my
it sucks because I like Josh Allen.
my honest opinion behind that was when they got stopped on the 4th down. I was telling my sister, I was like, dude, I think Buffalo should punt that because they still had 3 timeouts. They still could have, they still could have had that 2-minute warning where they could have avoided also. So I kind of thought they could have punted because they had 2 opportunities left after after Buffalo turned the ball over and Kansas City tried to kill the clock.
Akil, I agree. I disagree there. I'm not punting.
Yeah, I wouldn't have punted either.
You cannot punt.
The damn ball,
Yeah,
bro.
because think about it, Keo. It was still incomplete. So Kansas City got the ball. And what did Kansas City do? They converted every 3rd and 4th down. They were not giving Allen another shot. They said, hell no, we're going for it. And that's when they got the throw to P. Ryan because they were thinking the same way. They're like, we're not giving Allen another shot. Now, one other thing I want to mention real quick. Y'all remember the Manning and Brady era? Who are the AFC quarterbacks that ever came out that conference during that time? Well, it was Manning, Brady, Big Ben did it, and then the Flacco a random year. So what I'm saying is, look at the AFC future, right? It's Mahomes, Allen, Burrow. Now Burrow did get to a Super Bowl, but he didn't win it. Right. Lamar, Stroud, Herbert. I'm going blank over here. But basically, you've got hella quarterbacks in AFC. Somebody here that's a stud is not going to end up with a Super Bowl.
Oh, that's a fact. That's a fact. I'll even throw a name that didn't win a Super Bowl in the AFC back then. The team was great. Phillip Rivers. I thought for sure with the team that they had, I was like, bruh, they got to get over the hump. And they never got over the hump.
No matter who they had.
And one more thing before we switch, going back to what I was saying about Russ and anybody that you want to mention. Think about if Eli don't win those 2 Super Bowls. Eli's not even going to the Hall of Fame.
Nope.
So that's how important those type of situations can change your whole trajectory of how people view you. That's why I just think that, Allen can't take, I'm not saying he does, but Allen, Burrow, Lamar, y'all can't take these moments, lightly. And it is. Every time you don't win it, it's going to sting a little bit more. It's going to sting. Allen's going to be 29 years old to start next year. Now, of course, that's the prime, but you can fall off within 3-4 years. I'm not saying he will, but he can.
Now with Allen, now it's not about wild card wins, divisional playoff wins. It's about getting to the Super Bowl now. That's what the goal should be from every year moving forward, no matter what happens, because he's done.
I'll add to that. And all that Burrow gets a pass because he beat Mahomes. At the end of the day, man, Burrow, you got to win something now. I'm tired of Burrow. I'm getting on Burrow. Burrow, you got to go win a Super Bowl. I picked you the last 2 years. I don't care. You beat Mahomes. That's cool. You didn't win yet. Either you're hurt or y'all losing in the beginning of the season. You can't catch up at the back end of the season. Bro, you got Jamar Chase. Go win something.
And that's Burrow's biggest moment.
Burrow hasn't been back to the playoffs since that Super Bowl appearance.
And that's what people use on Burrow. Burrow's biggest moment is beating Patrick Mahomes going to the Super Bowl. And I think, people are tired of thinking about that where time Burrow to do something. All right, man. Let's move on over to our next topic, man. And our next topic, we are going to be talking about The Philadelphia Eagles, man. They dropped a 50-piece, man, on the Commanders. With that being said, man, what was the biggest reason the Philadelphia Eagles won this game and now they're in the Super Bowl?
This is pretty easy. It was turnovers. Washington couldn't force a turnover, and they had 3 of them. And that was the thing with the Lions game. The Lions kept scoring, but Washington would get a random turnover from here and there. They had a pick 6, I remember. They had another interception. At the end of the day, Washington's defense not great. However, you could force a turnover here and there, and they did not force anything against Philly. 55 points, most in a conference title game ever. Saquon busted for 60 yards on the first run play for them. At the end of the day, it didn't matter who was Washington's quarterback. Their defense couldn't get a stop. But I don't have much else to say. Like, if Washington's got a bright future. They've got a better owner, a better GM, a better coach, a better quarterback. They're going to be fine going forward. They overachieved this year. Yeah. So nothing for them to hold their head down on. Congrats to Philadelphia. I hope they win the Super Bowl. But they basically, the turnovers they force against Washington, they have to do it against Kansas City. They have to. That last Super Bowl Kansas City and Philadelphia played, Jalen Hurts was awesome. The difference was they did not get a sack on Mahomes all game. They got to get to Mahomes or force turnovers if they want to win that game. So, Washington, hold your head up high. You got a bright future. But the reason they lost this game, they couldn't get stops and turnovers specifically.
A better team, bro. The Eagles just were an actual better football team than them, bro. I would say the only advantage that the Commanders had was Jaden Daniels. I think he's a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. But it wasn't enough. He can't play defense too, fellas. He had to get some help from somebody out there on the defensive side of the ball, and you got Lattimore out there fighting with A.J. Brown and then getting abused for the rest of the game. The defense just didn't do anything, man. They didn't do anything. They didn't even pinch Saquon, bro. Saquon on the first play of the game, on the first play of their offensive series, he takes the ball in for a touchdown. I said, oh, Lord, my pick is over with. That is done. These boys is going to have a long day. And what they gave up, 7 rushing touchdowns?
No, 7.
Bro,
Yeah.
I could have been rich if I'd have just put $1 on the Eagles scoring 7 offensive touchdowns, bro. That's never gonna happen, but it did, and that cooked the Commanders' goose, as they like to say, man. And I think it's a big shout out to Jaden Daniels, big LSU and everything. It's not your fault, bro. It's not your fault. It's you get the credit for getting out there, but you're not getting the blame for this loss. You didn't go out there and commit a whole bunch of turnovers and not put the ball in the end zone. You put the ball in the end zone with your feet, and he threw for 1 too, huh?
Right.
Jalen Hurts, yeah.
No.
No, Jaden Daniels. Yeah, he threw for 1.
Yeah. So he did his job. It's the rest of those bums that didn't do their job, bro. So hold your head up high, bro. Get ready for next year because the expectations are gonna be all the way up.
Yeah, it will be. So, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought you were
that's really everything I had to say. Just the expectations next year are gonna be high, and he's really playing right now. Even if he doesn't get back to the Super Bowl next year, it shouldn't be a letdown to people. I mean, get to the NFC Championship, it shouldn't be a letdown to people. But if he don't make a playoffs, it will be.
Big facts. Okay. Well, I was gonna start with what C said. The better team won. That's where I was gonna start. But last week on the show, I wanted to pick the Commanders because I was rooting for Jaden Daniels. And if you remember what I said when y'all said, who you got, X? I said, I want to, but Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley, man. He's just a big difference maker for the Eagles. Like, next week, I don't know who I'm going to pick. I know everybody was going to say, oh, Patrick Mahomes this, Patrick Mahomes that. Bruh, Saquon Barkley takes this team to the next level. It's
Yep.
like Goku going Super Saiyan, whatever level you want to say, because this is ridiculous. And then when I look at this team and I say, well, what happened in the game? It's not just the turnovers, which I agree with box office. The turnovers played a big part. They couldn't stop the running game at all. 7 touchdowns. Even Shipley got one, and he bust one late. It's like, come on, man. They couldn't stop anybody. It was all bad. But at the end, I'm gonna keep it short and simple with this last piece. C said everything you need to hear. The better team won. And I'm being honest with y'all, man. The Super Bowl, man, I'm excited about this one.
Yeah.
This one I'm excited about. Because I think Patrick Mahomes has a juggernaut on the other side he has to go up against. I really believe that in the Philadelphia Eagles. That defense, too. I know they gave up some points to Jaden Daniels, but Jaden Daniels is special. And I know Patrick Mahomes is all time. But I'm just saying, Jaden Daniels is special. The Eagles defense, man, they young, but they
Philadelphia
nasty
Bulldog defense. The Philadelphia Bulldog defense.
Yeah.
Them boys, all them boys came into their own now, bro.
Yeah,
they're gonna be a problem.
man.
They're gonna be a problem. And this is a rematch from 2 years ago Super Bowl, right?
Right.
But this is not those same Eagles.
And this is a better Eagles team.
They
I
got
don't care
a
what y'all
monster
tell
in
me.
that backfield, bro. They got a monster, a terrorization in that backfield, bro. So it's gonna be. I'm not gonna give away my pick yet because I really haven't decided. But it's not just. I'm not just saying, "Oh yeah, man, Mahomes." No, bro. I'm taking this into real consideration.
I think everybody's talking about how much Saquon's made the team, and he has, but I think the defense, the back of the defense, is much better this time around. Quinyon Mitchell, stud. They stole him.
Yep.
Cooper DeJean has been very good as a rookie.
I called both of them.
Zach Bond, who left y'all's New Orleans Saints and now is an All-Pro, was a huge pickup. Nolan Smith has really come on. He's become a good player. I just think that defense is more than anything much better this time around.
And Jalen Carter, my God.
Oh,
yeah.
He's already the second best defensive tackle in the league this time.
That's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, man. He was supposed to have gone probably first in his draft, but he got in a little trouble or whatever. But and I don't understand how the Eagles then got all of these boys over there, bro. All of them young, and they
keep hitting in the draft. They keep hitting.
What is their GM?
I'm with you. See, it's gonna be hard for me to pick against. I mean, I know it's Mahomes, but man, this is a real test for him.
Howie Roseman, bro. He hit on Jalen Carter, Quinyon Mitchell, Jalen Hurts. He's pulled off 2 big free agency and trades, AJ Brown and Saquon. He drafted Devontae Smith.
That's what I like about the Eagles. I feel like they worked it every way. Bro, they special, bro. They doing a good job, man.
They always fleece somebody, bro. They fleece somebody in the trade. They fleece somebody in the draft. It's like I don't understand how he does it.
They do the most common sense stuff.
Huh?
They do the most common sense stuff that other teams just overthink.
Mm-hmm. And that's why they gotta win this one. Because like I said, opportunity doesn't come all the time, man. Last time when they went to the Super Bowl, it wasn't a guarantee that they were gonna get back, and then the next year they sucked. So you gotta look at it. Hey, this is it. What you gonna look a gift horse in the mouth twice?
Well, they're the same situation that the Niners were in. A second chance against Kansas City. Your window's kind of closing. Like you got to take advantage. Same situation as the Niners. Same.
And look at the Niners right now. You're right. Yep. So they better take a picture. Hey, they better look at that and say, "Hey, bro, we can suck next year, but they can't never take this away from us if we win. If we win this, they'll never be able to take it away from us. We're in the record books. We got the trophy. We're gonna put it in the front."
All right, this is disgusting. I'm about to throw up. You guys complimenting and talking about the damn Philadelphia Eagles. I can't stand thinking about that damn helmet and their jersey colors.
Well, it's
But
gonna be hell for you for the next year.
the Philadelphia Eagles, I think the huge difference with this is that you're right. They did meet the Niners in the Super Bowl twice, but the difference of them meeting the Eagles twice is it's the same quarterback. So, the
He
fingers
went
always get pointed.
crazy last time.
Yeah,
He just
but
didn't have no help.
yeah. So I think this. I think when it comes down to this, the biggest reason why the Eagles won it was because of Saquon Barkley. Man, Saquon has been the reason why this team is where they are at today. It's been Saquon. Saquon's been carrying this team. I always felt like if the Eagles were gonna get to the Super Bowl, it was because of Saquon Barkley. Their first two touchdowns was by Saquon Barkley. That long touchdown round, that 60-yard run, man. That thing kind of opened had the door wide open, man. And I just think the reason behind this is because of Saquon Barkley, man. And you could give credit. Obviously, you got to give credit to that offensive line. That offensive line been working. They've been opening up holes, man.
Oh,
Gaps wide open, man.
oh,
Throughout the
oh.
season. Okay.
Well, that's another thing, Gio. They thought they'd miss Kelsey a lot more than they have.
Yeah.
They missed him on the tush push. They got stopped a couple times on that.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, the new guy, even Kelsey said, "Hey, he's gonna be a good. He fills in for me good." He's like he was impressed with him. So, I mean, I like the Eagles. I like what they putting down. Like I said, but anybody who just will give the game to them over Mahomes is a crazy person. So I know it's gonna take a lot of more thinking. And Eagles fans are usually kind of crazy. I don't know if y'all know Gilly and Wallow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gilly led him out on the field Sunday, and he's a crazy Eagles fan. So I know he has them easy. He got them easy. He got them beating Mahomes easy. So I think those are the only people that are going to be just going ahead and giving the Eagles, even though they look great, giving them the title already.
All right. So what I wanted to ask you, man. So Saquon Barkley, man, is Saquon Barkley? He's having a great season right now. Career record season. If Saquon ends up, the Eagles win, Saquon gets his first Super Bowl ring. Will this be the greatest season ever by a running back?
Wow.
Yes, it would be because not only not only would he have a ring, but so do a lot of running backs. However, he would have the most rushing yards ever for a single season, counting the regular season and postseason. Right now, Terrell Davis holds that. They won the Super Bowl in '98 when he did that. All Saquon needs is 30 more yards to break that. He is currently 59 carries behind. So he's not going to have 59 carries, obviously. So, and he's going to get 30 yards for sure. So it all comes down to, do you get the win? So that's all it is. He needs to win and he needs 30 yards. No doubt about it if he gets those two things. And if that all happens, no one will care anymore whether he ran for 2,000 or not. I know we all wanted that for him. However, the bigger thing is getting that title. And if they get it, then it was the right decision. So, yes, with 30 more yards and they win over the mighty Kansas City Chiefs, it would be the best season ever for a running back.
Okay. Go
I'm
ahead, Sue.
gonna agree with you right there. The only comparison will be Terrell Davis, and that's because he ran for $2,000 and he won the Super Bowl. But like you said, he's 30 yards short. 30 yards short, he'll get that. So if he wins, even if he gets it, but he doesn't win, he won't have the best season for a running back. But if he gets it and they win, best season by far. He did run for 2,000. He just didn't get the record, right?
Yeah, he went over 2,000. He went over 2,000.
Yeah, he ran for 2,000.
He did. I'm tripping. I meant the record. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I'm on board with that, man. I believe that this is the best season for a running back ever. If he does that, my question I want to spin off of this one is he better than a healthy Christian McCaffrey now? Is he the best running back in the league?
Yes.
Everybody's happy.
I think you have to. I think you have to say that after this year, and McCaffrey was hurt. So yeah. However, if they lose, he's going to end up in the same situation McCaffrey did last year, where he had a great year, got to the Super Bowl, and then they lost. So he needs. I think he is better regardless because McCaffrey was hurt this year, so he didn't follow it up with anything. But Saquon would definitely solidify that with the win, though.
Both of them healthy. Who you got?
Am I going for like another season or what?
Yeah, another season.
I'll take McCaffrey because I think McCaffrey's better at catching the ball. But that's if they're both healthy or whatever. No knock to Saquon.
What about you, X?
Oh, I'm taking Saquon. And I mean, it's no disrespect to McCaffrey. I'm kind of like the same with Yvonne said. It's no disrespect towards McCaffrey. Saquon is just, man, generational, man. To me, like, it's just this dude is ridiculous, man. He does things, and of course, Christian McCaffrey does things that's crazy as well. But I just think that, man, Saquon, bro, that's insane. That's insane.
I also think though that Christian McCaffrey runs the ball better actually, because he'll get like 6-7 yards consistently. Saquon can just bust them more often, but he also will get knocked back for more negative yards too. So it's like it's bittersweet in a way. Like certain plays, like he'll give you -3 yards on many rushes, but then he can also bust out for 60 yards any minute. So I don't know. It's all preference, I think, with those type of players.
So who's third?
You talking about moving forward or just resume wise?
Moving forward.
I'd say Bijan.
Really?
Moving forward. Moving forward.
Oh, okay.
I'm not mad. I'm not gonna listen. I like what he just said, so I don't want nobody to say, "Oh, X," because I think Bijan's a monster. We talked about it, but I'll just throw another name out there. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is special, man. I do. I think he's special. Not saying I would take him over, but I think that they're neck and neck. And he's so explosive. He gets a little. He's like kind of like Chris Johnson and Alvin Kamara mixed, bro. He gets a little alley and good night, sweetheart. So yeah, I think Jahmyr Gibbs is just so. And coming in the draft, I said he would go first round. People thought that was before they actually put him in the mock draft as first round. And people thought I lost my mind when I said that. Keo for sure.
Man, I compare Jahmyr Gibbs to Jamal Charles.
Okay.
I think that's a good comparison for him.
That's solid.
Because Jamal Charles at his height, he could have been the best running back in the league because he catches the ball. I think Jamal Charles obviously caught the ball better, and but I think he catches the ball well, and he can run between the tackles, and he can get to the outside, man. So Gibbs, I think that's a good one. That's a good one, but I still can't take either one of them guys over Henry, bro.
I knew you was going to say it.
I knew you was one of them over Henry.
I just don't know how much Henry has left because I know he's very consistent, but he is getting older and all, so he's taking a lot of hits.
I don't know, man. I think when I say going forward, I mean next year. I mean next year, and I think I think he got so much left in the tank. I think we probably got another 3-4 years of Derrick Henry at this level.
Okay.
That would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
So Keo threw me a loop, so I want to pull it up. I'm not 100% sure. How many total yards did Saquon have this year?
I'll tell you right now. I'll look it up. Are you counting regular
Receiving
season?
yards too.
Regular season?
Regular season.
Okay. He had a 2,005 yards for rushing.
Rushing.
And for receiving, he had 278. And that's what I meant by McCaffrey's better at like catching the ball.
Really? You know at 278?
That's it.
Okay, so that's why
like 2283. 2283
Yeah.
yards.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like McCaffrey does way more like catching the ball. That's what I meant. Like you would think Saquon would do more, but even like his career high in New York was his rookie year with 700. That's a lot. But after that, it was always 400 or less.
Wow. Well, I guess I never do really see him catching any pass. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now I'm going to answer your question. I believe that I'm not mad at y'all for saying that, but I just want to make sure I pull up his right stats. Okay. In the postseason, I can't argue what Saquon is doing. Obviously, Saquon Barkley's having a monster year. And if he completes it, I have no problem with y'all saying he had the best season ever. But I'm going to stop y'all there. 1999, Marshall Faulk. Ridiculous. The greatest show on turf was born. Marshall Faulk rushed for over 1,300 yards. Granted, that's a lot less than Saquon, but he caught the ball for 1,000 yards that season. He had 1,000 receiving yards that season on 80. I think 87 either catches, some crazy number. Marshall Faulk's season, they ended up winning the Super Bowl. The greatest show on turf was born. And if you remember, you to remember this. I know Yvonne's a student of this game as well. But Trent Green was supposed to be the starting quarterback when that season started. Kurt Warner comes in. So really a backup quarterback. And I'm not saying Kurt Warner played phenomenal. But Marshall Faulk was just ridiculous that year, man. I remember watching Inside the NFL, and they were talking to Ray Buchanan before the game. They were playing the Rams, Atlanta, and he said, "Man, it looks real dim in this stadium. I mean, this dome." He said, "No need to worry. The Rams are gonna light it up." I'm like saying to myself, "Dude, you're going against them. What are you talking about?" So yeah, I think that Marshall Faulk's season 99, winning the Super Bowl, obviously in January 2000, that to me is legendary. But if Saquon closes the deal and beats Patrick Mahomes, because no disrespect, rest in peace to Steve McNair, I mean, the Rams were a better team. We're not doing that. The Titans was good, but they weren't a better team, in my opinion. Nah. But this is close. So I'm going to go, if Saquon can close the deal, this will be the best season from start to finish. Terrell Davis is definitely in that mix as well, though.
I'll take Terrell over Marshall. 1,300 yards. This man got 2,000 yards.
Dog, he had more yards total than Saquon Barkley had.
Yeah, but most of them.
Name a running back that had over 1,000 yards rushing and receiving.
McCaffrey did that with the Panthers.
And won a Super Bowl in the same year.
Right. That's what makes him impressive.
That's crazy.
I get that. I'm just saying 1,300 is far away from 2,000.
Yeah, but if I'm lining up at wide receiver and you put your best corner on me, I'm not lining up in the backfield every play.
Yeah, I know that Rams team, they lined him up as a receiver a lot.
That's what I'm saying. I think he caught 87 balls. They probably threw a lot more to him. So I'm saying I'm not just lining up in the backfield. I'm lining up. He kind of played like Debo played that year.
Yeah. But he was way better than Debo.
That's what I'm saying. I just think when you look at Marshall Falk, I always say, so people get mad. If you give me one running back, I'm taking Marshall Falk because I can put him anywhere on the field. I can put him in the backfield. You're going to go give me 1,000. I can put him at wide receiver. He's like the ultimate weapon. He was Christian McCaffrey and LaDainian Tomlinson before they was those guys.
Yeah, I don't know. I think LaDainian Tomlinson was better. I know it's unpopular. I think LaDainian Tomlinson was better than Marshall
I
Falk.
think his stats. I think he played, in a different game. But Marshall was so nice, bro, and a dog. That's what I like. He was a dog.
Marshall was nice in Indianapolis.
In Indianapolis too.
Yeah, I can't believe they let him go, bro. And he was producing. And they let him go as soon as Peyton got there.
And Peyton says to this day, the smartest player he ever played with was Marshall Falk.
Yeah, that was stupid. Only an idiot organization would do that.
Yeah, that just and look, I'm like you. Unpopular opinion. I take Marshall Falk over anybody at running back, and that's no disrespect to anybody. Saquon though, I love me some Saquon Barkley though. I will say that.
I'll say this, man. The running back that I love to watch run the ball the most probably was Terrell Davis, bro.
I just think that the reason why I can't put Terrell over those two that we just mentioned, Saquon, and if Saquon closed the deal, bro, Alandis, Gary, Mike Anderson, all them boys have big numbers behind that offensive line.
It was
it wasn't the same.
It was right. It was the scheme. It was the zone rush scheme. Nobody was used to it yet. Right. So and for some reason Denver had the perfect line to execute that zone block scheme. And he just, bro, but when you see it, they used to give this view behind him. When you see him look, find the hole, cut, and go get it,
right?
Yeah, it would look beautiful, bro. It would look beautiful. Right. And I say that Adrian Peterson is probably who I love watching more than anybody.
A dog.
Yeah. But like just that whole Denver running game, looking at the offensive line all move the same way, and them cutbacks, oh, bro, that was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Yeah, man. And I know it's unpopular too. One of my favorite celebrations in NFL history, the salute. I just thought that was clean cut, not overdoing it. Just you knew what time it was, them boys.
You know I'm flashy. So I used to like that Dirty Bird. I love that damn Dirty Bird, bro. I hate it, but that damn Dirty Bird. I said they got them one with that one. They got them one with that one, bro.
Jamal Anderson,
bro. Me and my homeboy, we used to go to the club and do the damn Dirty Bird.
Come on, man.
Oh, it was hilarious, bro. I was young C, bro. I was a totally different guy.
So what's the next topic? I don't have the topics in front of me, y'all.
I don't know where the hell Keo went. All right. So, okay. How about this? We got only one more topic after that. So I'm going to add something real quick. Let's just talk about the Super Bowl. Okay. We're not going to make a prediction. We'll save that for next week. Right now, the Chiefs are -1.5 favorites. Is that fair? What do you think are some keys to the game? And what kind of game are you expecting to? Because I don't know about y'all. I love big games so much that when it's like Super Bowl time, for example, I'm immediately watching old Super Bowl highlights.
Yeah.
And as soon as that game finished, the AFC title game, I immediately went and watched highlights of the Eagles-Chiefs 2 years ago to remind me and see like how similar the rosters are, how the game went and everything. So I just want you to give me a preview.
Okay, I'll go first. I think the game should be a push. I really believe. I think it's a 50-50 game. I don't think it's a. If you want to say 1 point Chiefs, I'm not mad at that because of the pedigree. We know what Andy Reid, bro. Let me. I know I'm jumping. Andy Reid's play calling is phenomenal, bro. Like that, like dog. I'm sitting there, like, okay, what they gonna draw for this 2-point conversion? And I'm just like, bruh, This dude figures out ways to get his players open no matter what. Like, it's beautiful to watch. So if you want to give them a 1 point advantage, I'm okay. 1.5, I'm not gonna cry about it, but I think it should be a push. I just look at this game and I say to myself, how are the Chiefs gonna defend the Eagles this time around? That's my biggest thing because you got Saquon Barkley. Last time I want to say Jalen Hurts threw for how many touchdowns threw? I know he
One.
ran one. He ran most all the other ones in, right?
Yeah, he had a deep ball to AJ Brown.
Right. So okay, this time around, not only do you have to worry about him running it in, you got to worry about Saquon Barkley. You got to worry about Devonta Smith, who's better now. AJ Brown, who's better now. I just want to know how are they going to defend this Eagles team because I just think this is a totally different team. This is the best team to me. We can all agree. I mean, I know that y'all may feel like the Bucks was a better team on paper. I don't think so. I think on paper this is a better team. I really believe that. The Eagles, I don't feel like they have holes in their team. I feel like the Eagles are complete from top to bottom. I think their offensive line is good. Their D line is good. Their skill guys are good. Their secondary is young, but they've stepped up in every game. So my biggest takeaway for this Super Bowl is Patrick could be Patrick in this one, and he can put up numbers. I just want to know, can the Chiefs hold Hurts and Saquon in that offense to enough points that Patrick can outscore him? I don't know about that.
See, what do you think about the Super Bowl? Just your ideas on it, and what do you think some of the keys will be?
That 1 point thing, like I don't mind them having it. That I think maybe within this 2 week time, I think it switches, and the Eagles end up being the favorite by 1 or 2.
Which happens all the time.
Right. This initial line, I'm not mad at it because you have to give Mahomes that respect. You have to. But I think the key to the game is kind of Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts having to pass a lot is bad for the Eagles. Him having to pass a lot is bad for the Eagles. Chris Jones is going to be on his ass all night. They don't have anything to block him. And if they can keep it to where they can run Saquon a lot, they'll be successful. But if it's a slower game, Mahomes hadn't been going crazy throwing for the last 2 to 3 years.
That is true.
So if you could keep the ball in the Eagles' hands and out of Mahomes' hands, and just like I said, man, you gotta knock them out. You can't leave it up to the refs. If it's a close game, I still favor the Chiefs because it's just something about them that goes their way. But I personally think that if the Eagles go out and play their game, they can run away with this. I think they can run away with this. I think maybe for the first time ever, I think the Eagles are a better team than Kansas City. I think that this is the first time. Well, I ain't gonna say that because I thought last year the 49ers were a better team. But I really think this team is a better team.
But this team is better than that 49. I mean, I don't know. Maybe y'all feel different. I'll let y'all finish. I think
this team is better than that 49er team because I think their defense is playing better than that 49er defense was at that time. But I think that the overall team and the chemistry of the Eagles right now, they're a better team going into this. I think that Kansas City been damn near losing all year. They damn near losing all year. And they ain't going to be able to win damn near losing against the Eagles in the Super Bowl. So, like I said, I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to keep it real. I'm leaning toward going with the Eagles. I'm leaning that way.
Me too. I mean, it probably sounds like it, but it's so hard to pick against Patrick Mahomes.
Right. It's almost crazy to pick against Patrick Mahomes because of what we just saw Sunday. But
right.
I'm leaning in that direction right now.
Okay. So I actually see this completely different than y'all. No disrespect. I think y'all are focusing a little too much on the Eagles offense. My thing is when I watch those highlights of the Eagles Chiefs first time around, right? And I know it's different rosters, it's not all 100%, but there's a lot of similarities. I thought even if you had Saquon in that game, it didn't change much because the Eagles offense balled out. They only had one bad turnover. And other than that, offensively, they were fine. It came down to they could not get to Mahomes. And I remember that D line, I think set the record. I'm going to look it up. I think set the record for most regular season sacks in a season. And it was Hassan Reddick, Javon Hargraves, Brandon Graham, and all them. That Jalen Carter wasn't there yet, but they had a monster D line. And then it got to the Super Bowl. I remember they were complaining they were slipping the whole time, and they could not get to Mahomes at all. So I think this all comes down to no matter how good Saquon goes, how good the Eagles offense is, will they get to Mahomes? I think that's what it comes down to. It really does to me. I really think that no matter how much the Eagles score, somehow Kansas City is going to keep up with them. It just seems like no matter who they play, they keep up with them no matter what. Also, no matter what, the Chiefs have the better coach and the quarterback going into this game. And that's a huge advantage.
You know how I feel about it.
Yeah, they have those two things going for themselves. So I know y'all are probably leaning Philadelphia. I'm leaning Kansas City. So I understand the line, -1.5 or whatever it is now. Even if Philadelphia was the favorites and might change, I'm okay with it because I understand why. But man, eventually with Kansas City, you got to learn your lesson. You can't pick against them after a while, and I've learned that lesson. and because I chose the Eagles the first time around, I chose San Francisco last year.
Me too.
I chose Kansas City. The only
You
time
did.
I picked against
You
Kansas
did.
City was this past week, and I picked against them before the season started, but not normally in the playoffs. AFC Super Bowl, I picked them.
All right. So I really think that game is going to come down to do they force turnovers or do they sack Mahomes? They got to beat him up. Even that Super Bowl when he lost to Tampa, they beat him up. They had him.
Yes.
Even when they couldn't sack him, they had him scrambling out the pocket, trying to make ridiculous throws. They had him on the move. So I honestly don't think this is so much about Philadelphia's offense because they'll score. They've got too much talent. They're going to score. It's just, will you stop Mahomes?
Right. I think that Super Bowl against Brady them, though, made Patrick Mahomes a way better quarterback because they were just trying to take shots. And the Bucks like, we're going to just keep everything in front of us. We're not letting you get over the top. You're going to have to be methodical. You're going to have to drive down the field. And in that Super Bowl, they couldn't do it. But moving forward, baby, Andy Reid said, hold on. That's what up, Edward?
Hey, not to interrupt you, man. I'm great at a lot of things. It's just another example of what I'm great at. Not making kids. I am great at that as well. But I'm on the air with y'all, and I just gave my son a fresh ass haircut, boy. I'm nice with the Clippers too, man.
Hey, see, your son with that haircut actually looks exactly like Bijan Robinson.
He's better. And he won't be playing for the Falcons.
Yeah, but he should go to Texas like Bijan did.
He's gonna go to LSU like Fournette did.
Hey, that young kid looks like Bijan though. I swear.
Yeah, he never wears his hair up like that. It was just to get his hair cut. But yeah.
All right. Well, the next topic was we are gonna give a grade to every coaching hire in the NFL this offseason. So A, B, C, D, or F, obviously. Let's start off with Keel's team, the Dallas Cowboys.
Damn, where Keo at when you need him, bro?
Yeah, I don't know. He disappeared, but Brian Schottenheimer, new Dallas head coach. What do y'all think? What grade do you give?
D-.
Wow, D-.
Bruh, you just got rid of a dude that was better than him. What are you doing? What are you doing? Do you obviously downgrade? Is that what you're doing? You say, yeah, I know we already had this dude on the on the staff. He was the assistant to the dude we just got out of here. And he sucked on him. What did he just think that he was just saving the plays for himself? Man, I'm gonna wait for them to get a mic out of here and I'm gonna use my plays. They're gonna like that. No, bro. This is a terrible hire. I think that they really should have pursued Dion, to be honest with you.
You don't think they did?
I don't think they did. I think a team that wouldn't go after Derrick Henry and he wanted to be there, I don't think they went to Dion.
Well, they did. Jerry did confirm they talked to Dion. So I don't know what that means. Like
they could have thrown enough money at Dion and he would have come. That's what I'm saying. Now, I don't think they actively pursued. I think they just took Dion's. No, man, I'm cool down here in Colorado. Nobody's cool in Colorado. If they had threw enough money for him to leave down and come to Dallas, he would have been down there, man. He would have been down there. I think they dropped the ball on that. But at least he's a Schottenheimer. He got good pedigree. He's been around the NFL for a few years anyway, so they won't be that bad. He got a lot of talent out there in Dallas. I can see them being better than they were this year, if healthy. But that's not the guy that's going to get them back to the Super Bowl.
Okay, well, I'm not going crazy on either end. I'm going to give it a C for wait and see. I'm not going to say it's an F or a D because, like you said, the end. See, I like what you said at the end. Schottenheimer, his dad was a good coach. He's been around the game forever. And I'm just playing devil's advocate to what you just said. I have no proof that he's going to be a great head coach. But Urban Meyer is a great college football coach, and they left and they took Ryan Day as the head coach, and Ryan Day ended up being really good for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying that you can sometimes replace the head coach with somebody on your staff, and it could work out for you. I'm not saying it will, so I'm gonna just give it a C for wait and see. I don't know how I feel about it. I can't say it's the worst. I can't say it's the best. The players know him. They had to vouch for him somewhat. They must have been okay with it somewhat. So I think that I'm gonna wait and see what happens with it. So I'll give it a C.
I'm not saying that you can't replace somebody with somebody who's already on the staff. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this guy.
But we don't know. We don't know.
If he was the offensive coordinator already, I kind of know what he does.
Well, we'll see, because sometimes they better. Sometimes people are meant to be coordinators. Some people are meant to be head coaches.
Right. We know that for sure down here in Louisiana, man. So, and I okayed us hiring Dennis Allen. He was already on our staff, but he was a great defensive coordinator. Nothing about this guy says he's a great offensive coordinator. So, I was wrong with that. Maybe I'm wrong with this.
Okay. I'm going to give this an F.
Oh.
Bro.
An F?
This is the most Cowboys hire ever.
Yep.
Bro, what are we doing? I heard they didn't even interview Ben Johnson. They didn't interview Joe Brady. Like, bro, this is the most Cowboys thing ever, right? Last year, Derrick Henry's on the market. They're like, whatever. It's just, who's Derrick Henry? And then the hottest names on the coaching hire out here, they don't even interview. Jerry needs to be
committed.
He needs to be put in a closet. Like they need to lock him up in Dallas, bro. What is he doing, bro? I literally think Jerry is so stubborn that he on purpose is trying to do the exact opposite of what people think you should do. And he's trying to prove, no, I'm smarter than you. Well, Jerry, it's been 30 years since I've been alive. You failed every year. And you haven't won a Super Bowl. You haven't even gotten to a conference title game. So you're basically, ever since your Super Bowls, you're 0 for 30. And he, come on, bro. Like C said, I know what he does. He was on this team with this quarterback on this roster. Like, there's nothing special about this move. I understand who his father was and salute to him for that, and he deserves a shot. I'm not against him getting a shot. I'm just saying I already kind of saw it with this team. This is in 3 years, we're going to be in the same situation as they are right now.
Bruh.
In 3 years, we're going to be sitting here like, all right, like, how much did this change?
I'm like, it's like kind of like what you just said. We already seen it with this team. That's what I think was happening with Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, it just wasn't a good fit for Dallas. He was never going to lead them to a Super Bowl. He's a good coach. I think he's a good coach. I just think he wasn't a good fit for them. And
he had some good moments though, but I feel like they did as much as you could with that team with Mike McCarthy. They were the number 1 seed, I think.
Yeah, 12 wins 3 years in a row. I mean, he's a good coach. It just his time had expired there. But when your time expires, him and everybody who came in here with your ass, get out. Everybody who came in here with you. I'm not keeping you. I'm not keeping you, and I'm not keeping you. All of y'all gotta go. That's what actually should have happened.
Okay, so can I say one more thing before? Yeah, I know y'all wow, y'all giving that man a F and a D minus. See, you might as well just give him an F too, a D minus.
I'm just giving him a chance because I could be wrong.
That's not a chance. That's
Dennis Allen is the reason why I'm giving him a D minus.
All right, but here's my only pushback to that. My only pushback, and there's no disrespect to y'all because I just want to say this: Jerry Jones has gone out and hired Bill Parcells. He has gone out and hired Mike McCarthy. Yeah. He has gone out and got these guys, Wade Phillips, who was a great defensive coordinator, and everybody was hyping him up. And he didn't win. And he didn't win with them neither. I think Jerry took a step back and said to himself, okay, I've tried it that way. Let me try it this way. I don't know what he's thinking. And I'm not saying it's going to work. I'm not. Especially in that division with them Eagles. The boys are young. And then with that boy at Washington, oh, man, it's not looking good. But I would at least give it a chance. The kid that he hired, man, dude's been around football his entire life. That's all he knows. And sometimes, you got to listen to the people within the organization that may not have that big voice like the other guys have or some guys outside have. So I think it may work out. I'm not saying it will, though, see. Jason Garrett was okay. I'm not saying he was the best, but Jason Garrett, Dez Bryant caught that football. I don't care what nobody says. He caught the football. Y'all, hey, listen, I'm not a Cowboy fan, but he caught the football.
It wasn't a touchdown, though. They still had to score.
No, it wasn't a touchdown, but he caught it.
You're right.
He did. Okay. Well, I think, this is an F, and they'll be hiring in 3-4 years again. So, all right, let's move on to the Jets. Aaron Glenn, grade them. Grade the hire.
I think it's an A for the Jets, a F for him. I think that he took the wrong job.
Oh, come on. See?
I think that anybody who took that Jets job was setting themselves up for failure. And it's going to be their fault. Whatever happens with the Jets is going to be their fault. They committed themselves more. The Jets front office committed themselves more to Aaron Rodgers than they have any coach that's been there as of late. They did whatever Aaron Rodgers said, whatever Aaron Rodgers wanted, they went and got it. But a coach like Saleh, who I think he was a solid coach, they didn't give him the tools that he needed to win. He was able to build that defense up to have great players on the defense. I think we all can agree they have great players on their defense, right?
Absolutely.
So he wasn't able. I'm sure he wanted Aaron Rodgers. So I just don't think that he was able to get over that hump And when things got to going bad, Aaron Rodgers wanted him out of there, so they got him out of there. And I don't think that it was his fault. I think it was Aaron Rodgers' fault. So I think that the Jets probably going to keep Rodgers for another year, and he's going to piss on Ben Johnson's parade. And not Ben Johnson. What? Yeah,
Aaron Gordon. Okay, I got lost.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon.
Right. But he I think it's gonna be. I think it's an L for him. He shouldn't have taken that job. I think they got a great coach. A young upcoming coach. That's what you want to look for when you're hiring somebody this day and age. You're looking for a nice coordinator that's been around, that's waiting for his chance, that got a lot of energy, that can engage his team, get the players rallied up behind him, and I think that's what he has. Like I said, I asked the question to box office them. What is Harbaugh good at? Excellent at? I think he's excellent at engaging and getting his team to buy in and following him. That's what he's great at. He's not great at offense, not great at defense, but he's great at getting buy-in from his team. I think that that's what Glenn would be good at, getting buy-in from his team.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a B plus, and I want to give it an A. I do. I'm gonna give it a B plus because the Jets do have, their front office. I have to be all the way sold on their front office buying into him, and I think they are bought in. But I still have that little hesitant because what box office says they do get rid of coaches pretty fast over there in New York. But here's my kickback to that. They saw what happened when Aaron Rodgers ran the show. They got rid of everybody. It didn't work out. I think that Aaron Glenn took that job because he sat there and said to himself, if you're going to give me the job, you're going to give me time, I'm going to try to mend it with Aaron or as far as with this team, because I thought Aaron Rodgers was leaving. But if it doesn't work out, we're going to find the guy, the successor. I think they're going to draft, whether it's Jackson Dart, whether it's Quinn Ewers, whether it's somebody in this draft. I do believe they're going to draft somebody to at least try to sit and learn. But I do agree with you. See, I think he's a player's coach. Oh, look, my camera's a real high. I think that the players are going to buy into what he's, giving out to them every single day as far as when they come to work. I think that it's going to work out for him. I think he's going to turn the Jets around. I think the Jets are going to be a pretty good team. that is a good one, too. Emmett Smith, for sure. And back in our last topic. But I just think, man, I can't give it an A because Aaron Glenn doesn't have any head coaching experience either in the NFL. So I'll go B plus. But I do think he's going to turn it around for the Jets, and I do think Aaron Rodgers is going to be there. And I do think they're going to draft somebody. So I give it a B plus.
I think head coaching experience in the NFL has been overrated as of the last probably 5-10 years, because we've seen these young defensive and offensive coordinators go in there and take over teams and just take them to the next level. These retreads of old head coaches, I think that people are doing better with it's hard to say that when Andy Reid ass keep winning Super Bowl. But
I was about to bring it up, but you brought it up before I did.
But I think he's an exception. I think he's an exception because who's he been playing lately? You know what I mean? That's what we should probably judge this off of. Andy Reid, I don't think Andy Reid was excellent at Philly. I think he became elite when he got to Kansas City.
But that goes back to experience. And if you think about what you just said, Kyle Shanahan he's still a great coach, but he was really good as offensive coordinator. He's yet still to win the big game. McVay did it, though. I will give McVay his flowers.
Yeah. McVay did it. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like McVay is a great example. Young, he was what, 30 when he got the head coaching job?
He was super young.
Yeah, that's insane to think about Yvonne being a head coach in the NFL right now. He knows zip about football, bro. It would be insane. But I look at it like that's crazy that a person at that age could go in and
Lead men.
he damn near immediately won a Super Bowl. And like I said, but he's closer to the guys' ages. They got engaged with him right off. He knew how to talk to him. I think that nobody wants to hear these old ass men talk to them and tell them how football's played. You know what I mean? We deal with kids all the time. And I coached my son's basketball team, and we got a young guy on there who's helping us coach. He's in his 20s. First practice, he called me OG. I was like, what? I'm like, damn, I'm OG age now, bro. That's crazy.
Unk.
Yeah, call me Unc and OG. Somebody called me Unc at the gas station. You're like, all right, appreciate it, Unc. Wow, slam that door in your face, bro. But the thing is, I just think that these kids, these young players, they're it's easier to engage with them if you're a young former OC or DC or even special teams coach to get them to rally behind you.
Okay, Keel, how do you rate the Jets hire of Aaron Glenn?
Hold up. How do you rate the Cowboys hire of Shotty?
I actually like the move. I think he. Hold on, let me talk.
Keel's the second
I'm a Cowboys fan, not you guys. I am.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
I think he's a good play caller. I think he comes from a great football background. The most, normally known for being related to Marty Schottenheimer. Those people that don't know, who used to be the Kansas City Chiefs head coach. I don't think for me, I didn't think the Cowboys, I think people were looking, as far as you non-Cowboy fans goes, were expecting the Cowboys to make a big splash, like a high profile name for the Cowboys to go. Or no, I'm not gonna drag them, because even though it's my team and my Dallas Cowboys, I think everybody deserves a chance. Jason Garrett, I only gave him a chance because he was a former Cowboy and I grew up watching him. He did good in the beginning, then he started, we know what happened, and now he's on NBC. So I'm gonna give him a chance, though. I'm gonna give him Brian Schottenheimer a chance, and I'm not gonna judge off of that he has no head coaching experience, because I think everybody deserves a chance, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. And I think I think when it comes to, no, it's not about Jerry or Stephen Jones. It's just about Brian Schottenheimer and what he could do with that team. And I think, and he's a likable guy in the locker room. From what I know, the current players in the locker room actually like this guy also. So when you got players that's behind you, and you got players that like the coach and that in support of the coach, I think good things can happen, and they could definitely unite as the entire football team. So like I said, I'm gonna give him a chance. Was I surprised by it? Yeah, I was surprised by the hiring, but I will give him a chance, though, when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys.
When I look at the Dallas Cowboys thing, I think it's like I almost look at it as like being a fan, like you're a Cowboy fan. I think that everybody on here, all of our teams stunk this year, right? Mm-hmm. So I think us watching our teams, we are just fans. We all are looking at it saying, I know exactly what to do to fix that damn team. I could fix them just like that. Am I wrong?
You're right, but I will say this. I was the only one on here that said my team was going to be trash this year.
Not LSU, though.
Well, we ain't talking about LSU. You see, you jumping that guy. 16 coats. I know I said the coach is going to be trash.
But here's the thing. I think my point is, I think everybody on the outside looking in, everybody's smarter than the coach. Everybody's smarter than the coach.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, bro, the sideline, when you're on the sideline, the cheerleaders, the fans, everybody has the better ideas. Hey, it sounds good until you have to go out there and actually do it.
Right. And
I want to know from Keo, what grade do you give him? A, B, C, D?
I'm gonna say B minus.
Okay.
B minus.
So
Because
I gave it a C. Box office gave it an F. C gave it pretty much an F, a D minus.
you're the only Cowboy fan I hear I've heard thus far and like happy about the hire.
McKeel's Jerry Jones.
I'm all about in life, man. In life, and it's not a joke to me. In life, I look at it as in life in general. I think everybody deserves a chance, even a second chance. And all you got to do is take advantage and seize the opportunity when you get that chance. And I give you guys a hard time with the Saints in general, probably every day. But no matter who the Saints head coach is, I think that person, that individual, if it's an NFL guy that has coaching experience, or if it's a new guy, just a coordinator that's going to become the head coach, that person got to seize that moment and take advantage of the opportunity, even though people may be doubting you and saying you ain't gonna make it. I think I think it's all about proving people wrong. And for one thing about me, I love proving people wrong. I love when people doubt me, and I think that's the mindset that Brian Schottenheimer should go into as the Dallas Cowboys head coach.
Well,
And I
Keo,
think
I don't think anybody disagrees with everybody deserves a chance and some
Oh,
deserve a
Lord,
second
bro.
chance. But if you were Jerry Jones going back before any of these coaches got hired, who would you have wanted to hire?
who me? Who I would
Yeah.
have wanted to hire as the Dallas Cowboys head coach? I would have wanted Pete Carroll, man. That's who I would have wanted. I
Okay,
would have
fair.
I would have wanted
Really?
Pete. Yeah, I would have wanted Pete Carroll because I look at it as in Jerry Jones. You ain't getting any younger, man. You about to die. Sorry to say that.
Wow.
I'm sorry to say that,
Damn,
man.
that's accurate, though.
You're the next Al Davis, buddy. I'm sorry.
Wow.
And I'm gonna
No,
be
man.
very I'm gonna be very shut up. This is my team. I can talk about my owner. You can talk about freaking Gail Benson, whatever her name is, with whatever happens to
Wow.
her ass.
Yeah,
But
Tom did already.
well, no,
Yo,
his
wow,
wife,
man.
his wife though. His
Yeah,
All
wife.
right, Keo, enough of that. Now, what do you think of Aaron Glenn?
Well, I kind of predicted that last week. I said Eric Glenn would go to the Jets because obviously the ties to the former team also. I think that's a good hire though. I think it's a good hire. I give it a B though. I give it a B because there's a lot of holes that you're gonna have to deal with though, man. I mean, I'm not too sure if Aaron Rodgers is gonna leave freaking the Jets. Maybe Aaron Glenn says, hey, Aaron, I'm gonna get you right. We're gonna make this work." Look at C laughing, and then Devontae Adams. And if they do move on from Aaron, they could, possibly, if I'm the Jets, man, I'm saying, hey, um, I could move Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams because Devontae only wanted to come there because of Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers kind of persuaded him to get there. But I think the Jets, they are, a couple pieces away from being a good team. And I think if they make these a couple moves, they could make some noise. And I think Aaron Glenn is a good hire, so I'll give him a B. Who's next?
Okay. All right. Well, I haven't gone on Aaron Glenn. Okay. I kind of see how C sees it here. It's a B for me for Aaron Glenn, the candidate, but an F for him. Because I said that the Jets is the worst job out here. I don't trust their ownership. I don't think they're going to give you a fair shot because as soon as you're not getting into playoffs after 2 seasons, they're cutting you. They have not made the playoffs since the Mark Sanchez days. And what
Wow.
have they done since the Mark Sanchez days? They've given every coach 2-3 years and they let him go. 2-3 years and they let him go. Aaron Glenn is a former New York Jet, so that's good for him because he understands the market, he understands the fans, he understands the expectations and all that. However, it's a B also, not an A for me because he's unproven, he was never a head coach. But I think he's got the right attitude. But at the end of the day, no matter if Aaron Rodgers is back or not next year, he's got to find out who his future quarterback is. Eventually, it's going to come down to that. Does he figure out who's going to be his future quarterback with the New York Jets? I think it's a tough situation for him. I really do. He wanted the Jets job. He said that. I believe him. But I just hope he gets enough time from ownership because I don't trust the Jets ownership. They are the worst in the NFL. And have proven themselves for a while now, Woody Johnson and company. So a B for the hire, but an F for the situation. All right. Pete Carroll to the Raiders. What do we got?
Yeah, that's my favorite one, man. I'm kind of jealous of that hire. I like that. I like that move. I like that move for the Las Vegas Raiders, man. I felt like they needed to make a splash. Somebody that was NFL ready, somebody that has coaching experience, somebody that's a player's guy, somebody that's a motivator. And I think Pete Carroll is that guy, though, man. And I like this move by him. Normally with Pete, he always finds some a good
Good check.
offensive coordinator on his side. You know, when it came with when Sarkeesian was his coordinator. I think he had Bates as his coordinator, and I think if he finds the right coordinator, the right play caller, I think the Raiders will be good. But the Raiders, they got a lot to fix down there.
Down the side.
They got a lot to fix down in Las Vegas, man. Um, when it comes to your quarterback, your running backs, also, um, you got wide receiver issues. Your secondary's broken up. Your front seven. You need to. I'm not sure what you're gonna do with Max Crosby. They got a lot of holes to fill. I hope they address it in free agency and in the draft because they need help, and not even if you're the freaking Raiders.
Go ahead, see you got it.
All right. This is gonna sound crazy. I give it a B. I give it a B plus. I give it a B plus because I actually wanted Pete Carroll to come down here to the Saints. But the reason why I want him and the reason why I even give them a
Yes, sir.
the reason why I even give them a B plus on a higher is because it's only a B plus if they use him this way. Pete Carroll is 73 years old. He is not your long-term
Absolutely.
option as coach. He has to be there strictly to turn your organization around, instill a culture, and train his replacement, to be honest with you. He has to be there to do that. That's the only way I would have hired him. You hire a 73-year-old man, there's no way that you hire him to be your coach of the future. You know what I mean? I almost don't want him making any big decisions like picking my next quarterback because he's not going to be there to be able to coach him and get him right. So I get he's there for culture. That's what he's there for. He's there to instill a culture. So I think he's even though he's old, he brings energy and he's a player's coach. He gets buy-in from his own players too.
Yeah.
So I think that's why he's a good hire.
Well, he did sign the 3-year contract. A fourth year is the option. So maybe you're right about that.
Yeah, like I said, nobody can view him as their long-term head coach. It's a reason why he's not the Seahawks head coach anymore. It was the kind of the tune-out effect. His antics weren't working anymore. You know what I'm saying? Him chewing all that damn gum and all that's not wasn't working anymore. He needed to take the show on the road. Belichick, he's another old one, and I think that's why he doesn't have
Uh,
job right now.
that
But
old geezer.
yeah,
I don't get that. That's why I'm lost.
I, I think that Belichick doesn't have a job because he's you would have been bringing him in for culture, and I don't think anybody wants that damn culture. He's bringing in
Yeah. Get
to,
that nonsense out of here.
to deal with their young players. So that's why it was kind of crazy that he's going to college because those players are even younger. But anyway, I give it a B plus just because I think that's why they're bringing him in to turn the organization around and bring the culture back.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Keel. Go ahead.
No, I forgot to give my grade. I give it an A. I think that's the best hiring, man.
Hell nah. Okay, but okay.
Shut up.
What you said, C, is exactly what I was gonna say. I'm only giving it a C because I do believe what you said. I think they're gonna try to get somebody on staff that can be the successor to him. That's the only reason why I'm giving it a C because Keo just said Jerry Jones is basically on his deathbed. And Pete Carroll is literally 9 years younger, which I mean, I know it's but that's not far away. I'm sitting there saying to myself, well, dang, you say Jerry Jones is pretty much done, but you say I know Pete Carroll's in good shape. That's
So so basically you're trying to
I never
say
said that. I'm
Pete
saying
Carroll's
based
gonna
on
die soon. That's what you're trying to
no,
say right now. You don't want to say it, but I'll say it for you.
no, I'm saying based on what you're saying. But
You're
I
amazing.
just I just outside of what C just articulated, I don't understand the hire. I really don't. He's 73 years old. He's not your future. You know, is he gonna have is he gonna have that? And I know he has great energy, but does he have the energy to basically rebuild this franchise? Because, like you said, Keo, they don't really have the pieces there. They have money, and that's cool, but I just don't get this hire. I'm gonna say a C because I do think he is a
Hold on, wait a
excellent
minute,
motivator.
man. How are you gonna say that when
Uh,
last week you said the freaking Las Vegas Raiders coaching position was one of the best positions
okay,
out there?
I just because it's one of the best out there doesn't mean they hired the best coach. Just because they have one of the best coaching positions, I think at the end of the day they should have went a different direction, in my
Like
opinion.
who?
I mean, well, let me say this: the best person you gave that an A. The only A I'm giving is for Ben Johnson. That's the only A I'm giving because to me he was the guy that everybody wanted. If they're being truthful, every organization, if they could have got Ben Johnson to come to their organization, I believe that was the number one guy on everybody's list. If you get Ben Johnson, you get an A. Outside of that, that's why I gave Aaron Glenn a B plus because I do like Aaron Glenn, but I just think Ben Johnson, what you saw over there in Detroit was just art, man. It was art the way he drew up those offensive schemes. So I would have went Ben Johnson as far as an A. But this one, it just leaves me wondering, like, Pete Carroll could literally take the money. I mean, he could have fun with this job. He could say, we're gonna draft him. This is who I want to draft. I don't like this. I'm gonna say a C because I'm hoping that they find the guy after him. But if it wasn't for that, man, that'd be an F higher for me. And I like Pete Carroll.
Okay,
Yeah, what a
breaking
hater.
news. Breaking
I saw that. That's why I was wow. I know what you.
breaking news, and it's perfect timing because we're on this topic. Mike McCarthy will not be coaching next season. So he will not get the Saints job.
He dropped out too.
He dropped out as well, it looks like. So yeah, Mike McCarthy not coaching next year. All right. So back to this. I give it a C. let's call it what it is. Pete Carroll is an old geezer.
Bro, stop.
No, Belichick's
Look,
that old geezer.
he's the best
Belichick's
70,
younger.
he's the best 73-year-old in shape. By the way, Belichick's only a year younger. They're right
I
there.
know, but he's younger.
Yeah, but I think Pete Carroll's the best 73-year-old in shape out there. But look, like X said, if I'm Pete Carroll, I am not sweating this job at all.
Exactly.
I'm not overthinking any draft moments. I'm like, oh, I like him. I'm taking him. What do I have to lose? So also, bruh, look at this division. Jim Harbaugh, Andy Reid, Sean Payton. You have to get your quarterback, and he has to be a stud, or you're never going to win this division. And I'm going to say right now, Pete Carroll, I think he's going to make it to 3 years, and that's going to be it on this contract. He's never going to win this division. It's not happening. It's not happening.
Obviously, the freaking Kansas City Chiefs play in that damn
But
division.
I'm saying if Patrick
Harbaugh ain't
Mahomes,
gonna win the division. How about that? As long
no,
as the Chiefs,
Harbaugh
as
will
long
win
as,
the division.
as long as the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid's on there, nobody is winning that division. I can guarantee that.
I do
Nobody will
not
win that
guarantee
division.
that. You could win this division at 12-5, and the Kansas City Chiefs might go 11-6. It doesn't look likely,
And
but I'm
that
just saying it could happen.
and that hasn't happened yet, though.
It hasn't. But this division is only getting tougher. Look, Pete Carroll's not winning this division. Even if he gets Cam Ward or Shadur Sanders by trading up, and they actually do pan out, I still don't think they're going to win. They don't have the roster. The only reason I give it a C, though, is because he's proven he's a good coach. He's one of the two to ever win a college title and a NFL title. So Pete Carroll's a great coach. He's just 73, and he's going into a division where you've got three other crazy coaches. It's going to be too tough to do. So I'm going to give this a C.
Do y'all,
By the way,
think that they're?
No.
And I'm just asking because we all think that. Well, besides Keo, do y'all think that if there was to land Shador, that Di could be in there sooner than later?
Apparently, what I read was Dion wanted that job.
That's what I heard too.
But I don't know. Maybe in 3 years that could make more sense. Maybe he proves himself more on the college level, and he's like, "All right, I'm done with the college stuff."
Yeah. Yeah, definitely in 3 years I can see it happening. If they get Shador, I can almost guarantee he'll be there.
Yeah.
Because they're not gonna win. They're not gonna win anything with Carroll right now. I mean, like I said, the division is just too tough. Too tough. They don't have the roster to do it. He's gonna bring a little excitement.
Yeah, I think I don't think nobody's asking him to win the division. It's all about improving the team and turning this franchise around. I think
I'm
that's
gonna tell you this. This is what I think is gonna happen. If they draft Shador, I think Pete Carroll's gonna step down after this year, and they're gonna hire Dion. I think they're gonna say something about his health, which it won't be their health, because they'll be terrible again next year. We understand that with just Shador. If they land Shador, that's only if they land
That's a big
Shador.
if, though.
Yeah,
because it looks like
they'll
they have
step
to
down.
trade
They'll
up.
get Dion.
Yeah, because they're what, 8th now?
No, they're 6, but
They're
he's
6.
going top 5.
I don't know. They might have to wait for next year. Because there is I'm not talking about Cam Ward, because there is a guy coming out of Miami next year's draft.
Bruh, nobody want to. All right.
Whoa, hold on. You guys did not pick Georgia, right? You guys did not pick Georgia because of one
I did
individual.
not.
I
I
One
told you
player,
who was gonna
one
be the
individual. I'm not picking Georgia because this player is not playing. All right,
I
let's
picked
go.
him.
I did.
I did not. I was smarter than that.
Sorry.
I picked him, but like I
Carson.
said, he was their starting quarterback. It don't matter who their starting quarterback was. They'll be better with their starting quarterback than their backup. Not that he's good.
Sorry.
By the way,
Carson,
see, I don't know
my
if you heard the
apologies for my
McCarthy news. Did
colleagues.
you hear the McCarthy news? You were
No,
in the
what?
background. He dropped out the Saints race, and he's not coaching next year at all. They said.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Mm.
so
We
that
going
won't be your
with Moore.
That won't be your coach.
Yeah, we're going with Kellen Moore.
All right. So Liam Cohen, grade the Jacksonville Jaguars' new coach.
I don't know,
Go
man.
ahead. Bruh. Hey, I'm only like, before y'all go, I'm gonna give mine afterwards. But bruh,
It's an
they
F.
are
It's an
killing this
F.
dude. They are killing this dude on social media right now. They,
Duval.
they said that he should be fired already because of his press conference. I mean, they're going crazy because he had a little statement within his thing, basically, bruh, talking about Duval.
Yeah.
And it was horrible. It was horrible. Like they are crushing this guy. I feel
What
bad for him.
what's
I
wrong?
really feel bad for him.
What's wrong? Why can't he say Duval?
No, it's the way he did
It's the
it.
way he said it. The people in
How
Jacksonville say
how are you
Duval.
how are you supposed to say Duval?
I ain't from Jacksonville. It ain't like that. It's more
Bro, it was just
Duval.
weird. It was weird, bro. It
You
was a
know
whole
why?
weird.
You know why people have a problem with it? Because if he was a different color,
Oh my
people would not be saying
what?
anything about that.
I
Bro.
actually don't
Why?
think it's
Why?
that at all. I think he was just like cringy. It wasn't
Yeah.
swaggy. It wasn't
Yeah, it
cool.
wasn't
He's
at all.
It was
well,
just
he's white.
cringe.
He's white. A lot of people don't have swag. That's why. What you mean?
But there's also a lot of people that
What?
Who?
do. I don't think it has anything to do with that. It was just cringe. It was weird.
It was black.
But
That's
as
what it
but
was.
but as far as Liam Cohen goes, that's another guy that I said that where the Jaguars would go, with but I have them as I give it an F, a flat out F, man,
Damn,
because
why
this
you
is
Wow.
got
F?
because I like what he did in Tampa Bay, but it's the situation that he's in, man. Jacksonville might be one of the worst situations you could be in right now, man. If I'm Trevor Lawrence, I'm requesting to get traded out of Jacksonville immediately. If I'm Brian Thomas, I'm requesting to get traded out of Jacksonville immediately. This team is not going to go anywhere. They're going to finish last place like they did earlier this season, or yeah, earlier this season. I got them finishing last place again next year when we do our predictions. They are the worst team in the AFC South, man. And there's not much help that you could get with this team. Like you guys mentioned, what free agents or big name free agents is gonna sign with Jacksonville? What free agents say, hey, that Jacksonville Jaguars is one of my destinations to go there? And he got to build relationships, got to bring in the new staff also. And I wouldn't want Shad Khan to be one of my owners. That could be the worst thing possible to have. And yeah, man, I don't like this move at all. I think this might be the worst hiring out of all the teams.
I give him a C. I give him a C, kind of like X said, for wait and see. I actually think he's walking into a good situation. He has a lot of tools there. Has a lot of tools. He's offensive coach, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Look what he just did with Baker Mayfield. You don't think he can do anything with
Yeah, but
Trevor?
he had tools to work with. He had tools to work with in Tampa Bay. He ain't got nothing to work with. What you gonna
What?
you gonna work with Gabe Davis? That's who you're working with.
No, you're gonna
Sure,
work
you
with
got
Brian
Brian.
freaking Thomas. What are you talking about?
But that's the only player that you have on your team, though. You're asking Brian Thomas to be that
ETN is there.
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence
ATN.
is there.
ATN can't even stay on the damn field. He nearly got his job taken away by
Well,
Bixby. What you mean?
Bixby is good.
Yeah,
Bixby's
Bixby's
good. Saquon couldn't stay on the field before this
Yeah,
year.
we're gonna say Bigsby is gonna be my running back. Hey, take Bigsby. You're my starting running back for the
Man,
2025
you off
season.
the
How does
chain,
that
Phil.
sound?
What I'm telling you is we've given you weapons. We just named 4 people. He has a person at every skill position that he needs to be able to have a successful season. If he could do that with Baker Mayfield, I believe that he could do something with Trevor Lawrence. I believe that that offense in Tampa Bay, it looked really good.
So you say Trevor Lawrence needs help now to develop? Because last time I checked, we were talking about him going into the NFL draft, being this top star and stud going into the NFL. All of a sudden, Trevor Lawrence needs to be developed and helped by an offensive coach. Now, all of a sudden,
Raise your hand if you said that.
I thought Trevor Lawrence was gonna be a stud coming out of college. I did. I won't lie about it. That's why I'm so hard on him now, because I thought he would be so much better than what he is.
I said he was going to be good. I never did. I said he's not going to be that generational talent like everybody was calling him.
He's Daniel Jones, man, according to the numbers. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's get back to the hire itself.
I'll give it, bruh. I'm not gonna lie. Before we even came into the show, I was like, Liam Cohen, that's a straight little high. I'll give it a C. But bruh, the press conference, I just
wow, you're judging him off of the press conference?
No, because it was
man.
so bad. I felt like the Jaguar fans gave up on him before he even coached the down. I'm gonna give him a C because I do like what I saw from Tampa Bay offensively this year. I thought offensively they looked good. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I know the Eagles lost 3 games, but the Eagles lost 1 game because Saquon dropped the ball against Atlanta. Devonta Smith dropped the ball against Washington. And the only loss they really have was to Tampa Bay. And I think Tampa Bay kind of went crazy. I think they scored over 30 in that game. So he can coach offensively. Now, here's my pushback to this, and this is no disrespect because y'all know how I feel about LSU. Love Brian Thomas. Had him in my fantasy team. Is he as good as Mike Evans? He had Mike Evans over there in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Is Trevor Lawrence as good as Baker Mayfield? We're going to find out.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm like, okay, you had talent in Tampa Bay.
And last but not least, is Gabe Davis as good as Chris Godwin?
Hey, stop taking shots at Big Game Dave. And then on top of that, I mean, I like ATN, I like Bigsby, but they're not Bucky Irvin. We're not doing that.
Oh, yes, they are, bro. Bucky
Irvin.
What are you talking about? Bucky Irvin, not cold.
No, they're not better than Bucky Irvin. They're not.
Bro, a healthy ATN is better.
We're going to find out, right?
Yeah.
We're going to find out next year.
All right,
I'll wait and see. If he can get Trevor Lawrence to where I thought Trevor Lawrence was coming out of college, then for sure they could be good. But I'll tell you this, Yvonne, I know we talked about it. If Aaron Glenn gets Aaron Rodgers to come back, we can shake on that one.
Okay.
I think the Jets having a better record than the Jags.
I still think we got to see how the draft goes and all that.
Yeah, that's true. But, that's true.
All right, so I'm gonna give it a C as well for wait and see. I don't know what to expect here, honestly. Because what I like about it is he actually was an offensive coordinator under Sean McVay for a year, so that's good. Okay. He did I won't say he turned around Baker Mayfield because the year before Baker turned himself around.
That's a fact.
And his head coach was Dave Canales. Well, his offensive coordinator was Dave Canales, who's now the head coach in Carolina. So I think Liam Cohen just picked up on that. And he deserves credit still for keeping that thing going. So those are the things I like. What I don't like is his experience. He was only an offensive coordinator in the NFL for 2 years. 1 year with the Rams, 1 year with the Bucks. That's it. Otherwise, it was mainly just college stops. So I don't know if he's got the experience that he's only 39. I'm not going to freak out about the press conference too much because Sirianni had a crazy press conference. Jonathan Gannon for the Cardinals had a crazy press conference. He was saying just goofy, cringy stuff around even the players. And Jonathan Gannon hasn't been bad. So I'm going to say wait and see. but this is Trevor Lawrence's last chance in terms of like long-term starter. He's got 4 years left on that contract. I'm sure this coach got at least 3-4 years. This is it. Like he has to prove it here, or he's going to be a career backup after that. So
Wow.
we wait.
Wow.
We will wait and see here, and find out from there. All right. Next, we got Mike Vrabel with New England. How do we grade it?
A C. I
Hey,
give it a
see?
C because
Really?
Vrabel, he's a retread. He's a retread, and I know that's who they wanted first. And now they have him in there. I just don't see what he can go in there and do that Mayo couldn't do. Mayo's played there as well, was successful there as well, coached under Belichick as well. I think that they should have just got out of the Belichick business. If you're out of the Belichick business, get out of the Belichick business and find another coach. So I think it was a C. He did all right as a head coach, but he got fired for a reason, right? And he was available for a reason. All right, well, let's see how y'all do with him over there. I just don't think I don't think it was a great move. I think there were better people that they could have hired out there. That's where I can see McCarthy going to and thriving.
I give it a B. I like that hiring. You know, former 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 player, you know, with the New England Patriots. You know, he has a good relationship with Kraft. And then on top of that, he did have somewhat of a success when he came to Tennessee. Um, yeah, so because the last time Tom Brady was a Patriot, they took Tom Brady. I think eliminated him from the playoffs or eliminated them from playoff contention. One of those. Um, and then obviously Brady went to Tampa Bay afterwards. So he did. So Vrabel had somewhat success, and I think he'll be all right though. I think he's the right fit for that job though. You know, I think Kraft looking for something similar to Belichick, and I think Vrabel's the right fit for that job for the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a B as well. Here's my thing with Vrabel. Yeah, his last 2 years wasn't the greatest in Tennessee, but he won with yo man, yo boy. Oh God, I lost his name that fast.
Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill. Boy, I didn't like Ryan Tannehill. No disrespect. Shout out to Ryan Tannehill. I just wasn't a fan. But I felt like it all went left, and I tried to defend Traylon, but when they traded A.J. Brown. And Vrabel, from what I understand, didn't want to trade A.J. Brown. It was the higher ups that was okay with you letting A.J. Brown go because they didn't want to pay him. There's rumors right now that Vrabel is going to try to get A.J. Brown to leave Philly to go to New England. Now, I'm not saying he will,
He'd
but
be an idiot. You do
from
that.
what I'm hearing is that they're still good friends and they still talk to one another. So I gotta put that in perspective. You won with Ryan Tannehill and you lost the guy that you drafted in AJ Brown, who you was high on. Yeah, you drafted Traylon Burks, it didn't work out, or the front office and you did that, and then they basically got rid of you. But I think the first 2 years he won 9 games, then he won 11, then he won 12. They traded AJ Brown, and then they fell off from there. Well, if you lose AJ Brown, that's a big loss. As you can see, he's in the Super Bowl right now. So I think Vrabel's a good coach. I liked Vrabel when he was at Tennessee. I felt like he, despite the lack of talent over there, I know they had King Henry. See, I know that's what you want to say. They have Henry too, but I just think that he did the most with a team that I thought was okay. They did have King Henry and AJ Brown, but that team wasn't a Super Bowl contender in my mind, but he actually brought them to the playoffs and they competed. So I'm gonna give him a B. I think Vrabel's gonna be good for the Patriots.
Okay. I'm gonna give this a B as well, and I totally agree with X. He got to the AFC title game with Ryan Tannehill. I understand you had Derrick Henry and AJ Brown, but we know plenty teams with a good running back and a good receiver that don't go anywhere because
Right.
they're stuck with the Ryan Tannehill. So he got the most out of Ryan Tannehill. He got him to the AFC title game. I remember they upset the Lamar Jackson #1 seed Ravens. No one saw that coming at the time. Um, I think this is a good hire. He's familiar with the crafts. He's familiar with the organization. Drake May looked very solid. He gets a young quarterback, so he'll get some time. I actually like this move for the Patriots. It's a B for me. Uh, I won't be surprised if they're a playoff team in 3-4 years. And if it's mainly because of Mike Rabel, that division isn't the best. Buffalo's going to be around forever, but the Jets, we don't know who their future quarterback is. Miami, bruh, come on, man. Uh, I hate to sound this way, but Tua's brain is as old as Jerry Jones at this point.
Wow.
Come on,
Bro,
man.
what are we doing on
Come on, man.
Yeah,
I got
that
a
is.
question for y'all.
Yeah, that is pretty old.
I got a question for y'all. We're gonna hold it to the fire when we all said, out of these new head coaches, who will get the first playoff win? I'm saying Aaron Glenn.
No, he the Jets.
Hey, we're gonna find out. I got Aaron Glenn.
He with the Jets. He's gonna be the last.
Okay, I got Aaron Glenn.
I will say, and I gave it an F, Brian Schottenheimer, because
I like that. That's not
I
bad.
think he's got the best team, and he's familiar with the roster, and then they're gonna get a playoff win. He's gonna do this. They're gonna lose their mind. They're gonna think they're gonna win the Super Bowl, and then they're gonna fall every year after that, and then he's gonna be
Shut up.
That's what I think happens.
I'm gonna throw a curve in there. I go with Liam Cohen.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
I could actually see him doing something. Damn, we said playoff win.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Trevor Lawrence gotta throw it to Gabe Davis and Christian Kirk, man.
Hey, man. Hey, bro. You gonna stop disrespecting Gabe, yeah, bro?
Hey, and you keep conveniently leaving out Brian Thomas. Why?
No, because we know Thomas is gonna get the ball regardless. He needs help though. He needs a second option to help him out.
Nah, it's just to make your argument sound good. It didn't work. But
Liam Cohen.
But I believe that he's got a better chance in Jacksonville of making the playoffs, getting that playoff win.
You gotta give me one that's gonna win first.
Go ahead, Yvonne. Let me think a little bit longer.
Yvonne said the Cowboys.
I said Schottenheimer just because he's familiar with the roster. He's been there. They'll get a playoff win and then they'll fall off every year after that because that's what the Cowboys do. Now, how about Ben Johnson? Do the Bears?
I took Ben Johnson out of it because I'm talking about the coaches we talked about tonight.
Oh, okay.
I do think Ben Johnson.
I'm going with Schottenheimer, man. Not just because I'm a Cowboys fan, but if you're looking at the talent on paper every year, you know, the Cowboys, you know, people always talk about their talent on paper. I did felt like they finished the season really strong. They were banged up with a lot of injuries on the defensive side also. I think if you're asking me right now, I would say Schottenheimer gives them the Cowboys the best chance for a playoff win compared to, you know, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the New England Patriots, the Chicago Bears. I need to see who's the New Orleans Saints head coach first before I could give you a fully precise prediction, because never rule out who that nation. That's still always still going to be in me.
Go.
Who?
Yvonne, don't start now.
Well, now let's get to Ben Johnson. That's the last one. Grade it. What do y'all
Hey,
think? I know
hey,
X loves
hey.
it.
That's a A. That's a A.
That's an A.
Ben
Oh,
Johnson can win. He's
that's
gonna win the first. I mean,
that's
he
the
should
B.
win the first playoff game. I think that team is talented. I was just concerned with Caleb Williams, but I think Caleb Williams, if he can't flourish with Ben Johnson, you want to talk about a career backup? My God. I know he was an offensive coordinator. I know being a head coach is different, but I just feel like this is the perfect situation for Caleb Williams. Jacksonville should have been all over this because then I would have been like, okay, Trevor Lawrence, now there's no more excuses. But yeah, it's an A plus. I don't include this in the mix because I thought we were just talking about these head coaches that just got the job. But yeah, Ben Johnson should. They might make the playoffs this year.
Yeah. Ben Johnson, I definitely give him an A. He's another one. He got all the talent right there. He has talent right there, ready to win. He got and then they're getting a good draft pick this year. So he already has talent there. You're getting a good draft pick. You got your quarterback. You may even run. I wouldn't move away from Swift. Swift sound like a 1 year, huh?
Oh no,
Uh,
Swift's not in Detroit. Oh yeah. You're talking about
in Chicago.
Chicago. I'm tripping over here. Yes, he only signed like a 1 year deal.
Well, I'd re-sign him. I'd re-sign him. You got your
No,
receivers.
he's actually 3 years.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So they kind of set. You know what I'm saying? Keenan Allen. What's the guy from Washington?
More.
Huh?
Roma Dunze.
Roma Dunze. Yeah, you got Roma
I think he
Dunze. You got
breaks out
DJ
next year.
Moore. Huh?
I think Adunze breaks out next year. I do.
Yeah.
Really?
I think he has.
Why? Hey, chill out,
Hey.
Tia.
I think he's actually going to have trouble as
Uh-huh.
long as they have DJ Moore there.
$1, here I come.
Um,
Woo!
but but I think that he has the best chance of being successful and getting a win. Getting a playoff win and out of all of the new coaches because he's in the NFC. I was going with Liam Cohen at first, but I thought about hell, he makes the playoffs, but he's going to have to play a hell of a team in the playoffs in the AFC. You can get lucky and have to play a Tampa Bay in the NFC that you actually have a chance of beating, or a Rams team that you got a chance of beating, or a Seattle team that you got a chance of beating, in the or a New Orleans Saints team you got a chance of beating
There you go, my
in
friend.
um
Look at you. I
in the
like that.
NFC. So you have a better chance of getting the win in the NFC than you do in the AFC. So yeah, it'll probably be him.
I'll go real quick. B
I'll
plus
give it
for
a B
me.
minus.
I'll go B plus real quick. I think it's a great hire. He's familiar with the division. He's played everybody here twice a year. Um, the only reason I'm not giving it an A is just because it's not guaranteed that it's going to work out perfectly. But other than that, it looks like the right move. Go
Only
ahead,
thing
Q.
guaranteed in the NFL is the Chiefs.
Well,
You thought Harbaugh was an A
Um,
last year, though.
yes, because he was proven though.
Okay.
Like Ben Johnson wasn't proven.
I got you. I'm not mad at
Harbaugh
that.
got to the
That was
Super
an
Bowl with
A.
yeah,
Kaepernick. Yeah.
I give it a B minus, man. I'm not a big fan of this head coaching hire. Look, man, there's a lot of great offensive minds that were great as offensive coordinators, and they just suck as a head coach, like Josh McDaniels. He was so great at what he did in New England. As soon as he took that head coaching job in Denver, he was horrible. He was bad. He was pathetic, man. There's just some coordinators that's just good as coordinators. Prime example, Dennis Allen. He's a great coordinator. That's why the Bears hired him, I think a couple of days ago,
Another
I think.
reason why they might win a playoff game this year.
Yeah, he's a great coordinator. I think Ben Johnson is a great coordinator, man. He calls plays, but being a head coaching is different though. Is Ben Johnson still going to call the plays? Is he going to have his own play caller? And sometimes that play caller calls it a little different. And it's the Chicago Bears at the end of the day. You still got to deal with, you could call all those good plays and, with what you have. But at the end of the day, you still got to face the Green Bay Packers, your old team, the Detroit Lions, and the Minnesota Vikings. You're still going to have to deal with that. Is Jared Goff, is he going to be the player? Caleb Williams going to be the player Jared Goff is? Is Amon-Ra St. Brown DJ Moore, can he be as good as Amon-Ra St. Brown? Do they have that tight end like Cole Kmet? Can he be good as Sam Laporta? Do they have a Jameson Williams type of player there down in Chicago? And as far as the running back goes, I know for sure they don't have no damn Jahmyr Gibbs down in Chicago. DeAndre Swift is good at what he does, but he ain't no Jahmyr
Dylan
Gibbs.
Sampson. Oh, let's get it.
God, please, man.
Uh-oh.
And it's just a tough hill to climb for Chicago, but we'll see though. But as of right now, I give it a B minus.
I'll say this, and then I want to ask y'all one more question. I know we got to get up out of here. I think that y'all 1 year, especially I think it was box office, might have been C as well. The Bears are going to make the playoffs next year. I really believe that. I think so. Now, based on they have some stuff that they have to clean up in the draft, but if Caleb Williams is healthy and they do what they're supposed to do, I think they're going to make the playoffs next year. Now, here's my second question. Who's the first one to get fired?
Aaron Glenn, because it's a terrible organization.
Yeah.
Y'all crazy.
No,
It's
It's
between
Liam.
him and Pete Carroll because neither one have a quarterback of the future.
It's Liam Cohen, man. He's gonna get fired. I think he's in a bad situation right now, man. It's a bad team. Sure, you got one playmaker on that team, which is Brian Thomas. But you're gonna force feed them the ball, and somebody has to step up on this team. And I just don't believe those damn other receivers that Trent Baalke got will not step up because they showed that they cannot step up. And I think Trevor Lawrence is get put on a lot of pressure now because he's dealing with possibly a new system that he's running. So with the new head coach, so I think Cohen will be the one get fired.
Yeah, I'm with Kill on this one. Liam Cohen. I know Yvonne gives the Jets a hard time, but the Jags, since Jack Del Rio in 2003 to 2011, they've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're on their 8th head coach.
Wow.
However, they have multiple playoff wins and we're a game away from the Super Bowl. And
But that tells they're firing people that's actually winning games. That tells them
that is terrible. But there is at least some production there. The Jets haven't been in a playoff since Mark Sanchez. I mean, come on, bro.
But that makes it worse. I mean, if you're gonna fire me when I'm making it to the playoffs, it's like, God damn. Like,
I get what you're saying, but they were at least an AFC title game.
I feel you. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right, last question of the night. Who is gonna be the next Saints head coach? And just y'all's opinion on whoever you think is gonna get it. What's your opinion of that coach?
Well, this is just very stressful for me right now. I'm trying to figure out who is the head coach. Every guy that I could think of is getting eliminated and removed from the candidacy. If it's freaking Mike McCarthy, if it's freaking Joe Brady, if it's freaking Aaron Glenn, the Saints can't say they're going for who they want because right now the options are very narrow now.
I thought you was gonna say it. You didn't say it though. Go ahead.
Because they have these are the options that I could think realistically right now. Kellen Moore, the great Mike Kafka, Jason Weaver, Yvonne, that's not funny. Okay, maybe it is.
He was
But those,
ex-Beaver.
but those are. He's the coordinator or assistant, whatever, for the Miami Dolphins. Um, yeah. So those are the options that I could only think. If I'm the Saints, I'm sticking with my guy that called the play earlier last year. I know you there wasn't much to utilize from because
There is it.
you were dealing with injuries. I would go with Clint Kubiak, man. I mean,
Kubiak went to the Seahawks.
oh, he left. He left already. He's gone.
Yeah, Kubiak gone.
Okay. Oh wow. Then that's wow.
Hey,
That's
I'm gonna tell you, hey, see, let me go because I think you got it right earlier. I think Kellen Moore is the guy. I think that's why you see guys dropping off because they're not gonna name him until after the Super Bowl. I think that's why they're walking away from the job because they're like, Kellen Moore already got the job. That's what I think. If they don't give it to Kellen Moore, I would be shocked. I think that's why they never named him yet. I think they may name him during the Super Bowl week, maybe after the Super Bowl is over. But I think he's the guy. I think that's why Mike McCarthy news just dropped that he's not coming back next year. The Saints want Kellen Moore now. You see it all the time.
well. What do
Teams
you
that
think?
win.
You like Helen Moore?
I think Kellen Moore got a lot of talent around him. So I'm a little skeptical. Um, I I do think he has good play calling out there, but it's easy. I don't want to say it's easy. That's not fair. But it's easier when you have the type of talent he has in Philadelphia. He
That's the
goes to
same
New
thing you could
Orleans.
say about Ben Johnson, though.
Yeah, but I felt like Jared Goff wasn't Jared Goff like he is now. I mean, he was with McVay, for a little while, but this Jared Goff is a whole different guy. A whole different guy. David Montgomery, they gave up on him in Chicago. They gave up on that
That was
fool.
dumb.
Jameer Gibbs came out of college. So I just look at what they had outside of Amon Ross St. Brown. None of those guys was really proven like that. I felt like Ben Johnson really gave them that platform to spread their wings outside of Amon Ra. But I don't know. Kellen Moore, I would say if they hire him, I would give it a C plus because he is on a winning team and he's seen winning going down. They might not win a Super Bowl, but they're gonna probably they're there now. But they got so much talent in Philadelphia.
See, or sorry, X. If the Saints hired you right now as GM and they said, "Look, figure it out," who are you hiring?
I told you I can't say he would take the job, but I know I like laugh. I would call Peyton Manning. I swear to God. I would call Peyton Manning and talk to him. And I'd be like, bro, let's turn this thing around. I believe that you have that kind of mind to turn this thing around. Get the best people around you. But I just feel like Peyton Manning he has a brilliant mind. And you can't like to me, that's what I look for. I want somebody that has a visionary. I feel like Peyton Manning just sees things that other people don't see. That's what I would
who
call.
who would you call? C?
Drew Brees.
I ain't mad at that.
Oh, let's
It kind of
go.
makes sense.
I would,
Basically, the same thing.
I would call Drew Brees. I actually think honestly, I think Drew Brees wants the job. I think he wants the
They
job.
interviewed him. He talked to him. I saw that. They didn't interview the Saints interview. I saw an interview where they talked about it.
Right? Yeah. They didn't interview him for the job. I would interview him for the job. I think he wants the job. I'm not sure how good he'd be at the job though.
Right.
Peyton Manning either. I think Peyton Manning has a great mind, but that didn't always translate to coaching.
That's true.
It's almost like the Michael Jordan effect as being a GM. You look at people and you want them to be as good as you were. You're like, damn, just do this. And
That's true. That is true.
they can't just do this. You know what I mean? And I think that might not translate. But who do I think we're going to get? It's Kellen Moore. I think Kellen Moore. He's I never thought about it like X said, and that probably is it. Everybody probably does know that Kellen Moore is going to get the job. I didn't realize he was only 36. That's big. I thought he was 39 for some reason, but one of those young guys. I'm with that. I'm with us bringing in a young mind, excited to be a first time head coach, can galvanize the team. I think that like I said earlier, young players, they don't mind getting coached by a younger coach more than an older coach, a retread. So I think that where these young coordinators go wrong, the ones that don't work out, is they don't come in and set the culture. Like you
Yeah.
did it. The first thing that Darren Rizzi did when he got the job as an interim head coach is he changed the locker room around. He changed the design of the locker room because he wanted to shake things up and change the culture to be around his. And everybody was excited. The whole team was excited the next couple days, the next couple of weeks, and we won 2 in a row behind that. I heard an idea from one of these Saints podcasts I watch. It wasn't a bad idea. It's not something that I would do. And I think it's dirty, to be honest. They said that they think that we should just hire Rizzi, let him be the sacrificial lamb for this year.
Wow.
And just kind of tank next year because they know we'll be pretty bad next year, get a good top 5 pick, find the coach that we really want next year, and start over fresh.
But see, I kind of had that. You had the opportunity this year.
Yeah, and I just don't think that's not what this organization does. X has been wanting us to blow it up and rebuild for years.
And he asked if I was the GM. Derek Carr was getting traded.
For who?
You don't like that?
For who? And start.
Well,
he's going to the Giants. I don't care what he wants. I would say, man, you go throw them Malik Neighbors. Neighbors, these are the quarterback. Go be throwing Malik Neighbors. Shout out to Malik, man. I reached out to you on Instagram, man. Hit us back so we can get you on this show, man.
Man, I'm just saying that as an organization, I think we are like I mentioned earlier, everybody knows how to fix their organization just like that, right? Everything that our GM does is wrong. Everything that our quarterback and our coaches do is wrong, and we know how to fix it. It is a lot harder than we think it is. I'm sure it is.
I think more. I think if you guys get more, it's a good hire, though. I think what the Saints trying to do, they're trying to find himself like that offensive genius, something similar to Sean Payton, and Kellen Moore knows his football. He's good at calling, the X's and O's, and he's a good play caller, and he gets the best out of the majority of his players, man. He's and I like what he's obviously his NFL career didn't go the way it wanted to, and as then he became an assistant. As we all know, we remember him what he did in Boise State as a quarterback. But I think he's a good hire, though, man. And he's the Saints need an offensive mind, a great play caller, somebody that's young, man. And I think that is the right hire, though, man, because I'm definitely not going for the better candidates that they got.
Wow.
What? What? You want Mike Kafka, man?
Hey, man, I told you what I would do. I told you what I would do already. I want to know, Ivana, who would you do if you was the GM of the Saints?
Man, this is the New Orleans Saints, man.
Bro,
those guys beat your guys' ass in the Super Bowl.
Y'all also paid to beat up on Favre to get there.
Hey, all right, man, what would you do? Man, answer the question.
Hey, this is the New Orleans Saints, man. Aaron Glenn wanted the Jets, not the Saints. Who else turned? Joe Brady, who y'all wanted, who lived in Louisiana, said, nah. Who wants that? Mike McCarthy now drops out. He'd rather not coach. He said, I'd just rather not coach than coach the Saints.
That's because they offered the job. The job has already been taken.
Hey, man. Look, this is the Saints. They have completely fumbled this process, if I'm being honest. Okay. They knew they had a vacancy a while ago. And I don't know what the hell they did during this process. How can you be on plan L at this point?
I don't think they
So we
are.
are.
Someone,
Guess how many coaches we've offered this job to?
that's the
Zero.
issue. That's the issue, though. That's the issue. You got to
But you-
speed up. You got to go get a guy like, bro. They're 0-4 right now. Like
But
Mickey
what if
Loomis
Kellen
is
Moore was their
0-4.
guy? What if Kellen Moore was their guy
It
from the very
wasn't
beginning?
though, because everything I read was they interviewed him way later.
Yeah,
than
but I'm
some guys.
saying what I'm saying is they didn't offer none of those guys that you're saying the
Right.
job. Nobody.
But that's
Not
the
one of
issue.
them.
That's the issue. Like they're sitting there.
But what if they talked to Kellen Moore via phone? He just came in person. But what if they said, "Look, man, we're gonna play this out. Whenever y'all leave out, whenever y'all exit out the playoffs or y'all win the Super Bowl, that's when we're gonna give you the job. We're just gonna play it out.
But
We
see,
gotta do the interview."
that's the wrong approach though, because if you really wanted Kellen Moore, you would have offered him already because you knew Dallas was interviewing him, and you would be worried that Dallas is gonna.
But what
wanna
if he
sign
said, "I'm coming"? What if he
Yeah,
said,
what
"I
if you
am
already had
coming"?
a deal in place?
I don't think. I think he would have signed already. He would have just said, "I agree to terms. We'll just finish it when
But what if he
Philly."
said, "Well, let's keep it on the hush until everything's situated"?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Everything I've read, they keep missing out on guys. Guys are saying no. Joe Brady straight up. I personally think the Saints wanted Joe Brady or Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn told them, "I want the Jets job." So then they went to Joe Brady, and they were like, and Joe Brady was like, "No, I'm not. I'm good. I'm staying with Josh Allen." So I just think this is the most Saints move ever. They've dropped the ball. Now, I think the best option to do is what Seed said. Take back Rizzy, take an L, blow it up, and start over just because I think they screwed it up this year. Now, if they hired me, obviously I'm not doing that because I have a job on the line. I'm going to tell you who the Saints should have hired, and they might hire him next year or I don't know in the future. Jesse Minner, the Chargers defensive coordinator. Here's why. Here's why. I
Let's
guarantee you,
go.
next year when we're on here talking about coaching hires, he's going to be a new head coach somewhere else. He learned under John Harbaugh, was on their defensive staff all those years. They were always a
Big
good
John.
defensive team.
A good
Then
Harbaugh.
then he followed Jim Harbaugh to Michigan, was their defensive coordinator when they won the national title last year. Then he followed Harbaugh this year. They were good on defense. They're only going to get better. I think Jesse Minner is a future head coach soon. And when you don't have a quarterback of the future, like I don't think the Saints do, Joe Brady and all these guys literally have confirmed that. If any of them thought Rattler was the guy, they would have taken the job.
So if Kellen
Or-
Moore takes the job,
They
then what you
weren't
gonna say?
offered the job. Why do you keep saying that they turned us down and they never got offered?
Y'all would have offered Brady eventually. He just did not want to take another interview. I'm sure y'all would have offered Aaron Glenn if he wanted a job. He wanted a Jets job. So I
They
truly
didn't
think
offer anybody the job though.
that's the issue. I don't know what the hell they were. They were picking their nose, flirting, playing Tetris or something. I don't know what they were doing. They had deadlines just like every other team.
They
Everyone
had
else
the
is
most
hired a
time.
coach.
What do you
I
want to
don't
say?
know.
They had the most time out of any team because Dennis Allen was one of the
But
first
okay,
ones
so my
that got
thing is
fired.
the Cowboys interviewed Kellen Moore. That's what we read, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they hire Kellen Moore?
Well, they like Schottenheim more.
I don't think so. I think Kellen Moore said, "I'm not taking that job."
Hell no.
I'm telling you what I think. I really believe that the Saints, they have talked to Kellen Moore. If Kellen Moore doesn't take this job, I would be shocked. I think this been they already established as the next guy.
Last week we called it a slam dunk when we called where Kellen Moore was going to go. There was nothing close remotely of Kellen Moore being linked to the New
I
Orleans
didn't
Saints.
think, but now the more I'm seeing, that's what I think is going on.
As the dominoes are falling, you can see clearly now. Kellen Moore is going to be the hire. They're only waiting because he's preparing for the Super Bowl. I mean, other than that, he would have been our head coach by now.
It's gonna come out Super Bowl week, next week, this week, sometime.
He's gonna get hired as next Saints coach, but I think it's their plan L, plan H. I really think they wanted Aaron Glenn or Joe Brady. And then they fumbled the ball on those, I think. And then they were, they were like,
The
all right,
only
who
reason why
who
I
else is
disagree,
available?
the only reason why I disagree is because outside of Ben Johnson, to me, as far as the offensive coordinators, even over Liam Cohen, I believe that Kellen Moore could have got Jacksonville's job if he wanted it.
Yeah.
He could have got any one of those jobs had he wanted it. I think he just said to himself, I'm going to take the Saints job for whatever reason. Now, I'm not saying he should. I'm just telling you what I think. I think
Meanwhile,
that he could have got any other job he wanted pretty much.
I disagree. I think he only got interviewed by Dallas and New Orleans. Dallas didn't offer him, and he said, all right, I'll take New Orleans if I can. Now, let's say they do hire him. I think it's a trash hire as well. And I would have said that if he went to Dallas. I would have said that if he went to Jacksonville. I've seen nothing from Kellen Moore that I'd say, okay, wow. Bro, come on. I can coach Jalen Hurts, Saquon, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith. Come on, like, in Dallas, he coached CeeDee Lamb. I don't know, like, I don't see anything special there. And I think he's going to a bad situation because I'm not sold on Rattler like y'all are. Derek Carr's not going to be there 2-3 years from now. So I just don't. I think I think it's a tough situation. I said last week,
But
I don't like that.
if he really believes in himself, if he's really that guy, he should be able to turn it around, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody should think highly of themselves like that. But I think it's going to be a bad hire. I think that Jesse Minter would be a better head coach.
So Kellen Moore, if he does get the job, he'll be the first coach fired out of the group that we just mentioned.
The Saints are a little more patient, I will say, than other franchises.
And
So
that's what I think is attractive about the Saints job. I think that you have security when you take the Saints job. We don't give up on our coaches that easy. Dennis Allen stayed way longer than most people thought he should have. And it took almost an act of God for them to fire him. So especially with this GM, the GM that we have, he doesn't like to admit if he makes any kind of mistakes. So he's gonna roll with you. So if he hires you, you're pretty much in there. And the rumor about Glenn wanting a new GM, I think that may have kind of been true. But you can't say that when this GM is still there. I just don't think you can say that. I think that he may have. I don't think he had the choice of having this job anymore. I think the Saints were more invested in our GM than we were in getting what's his name?
Kellen Moore?
No.
Aaron Glenn?
Aaron Glenn here. So, I think it's going to be a good hire. But hold up. I've been wanting to ask this question for a couple of segments now. We keep using the word offensive mind. Oh, great offensive mind. He has a great offensive mind. Who has the best offensive mind in the NFL right now?
Head coach?
Andy Reid.
I was about to say.
It don't matter if it's
Andy Reid, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, those top three.
Yeah,
Andy Reid,
I agree.
Andy Reid, I think, is first, and I think it's by a mile. I think he may have the best offensive mind we've ever seen in football.
Wow.
I can't think of another offensive head coach or coordinator that's
I think people would give you pushback with Bill Walsh. I think people would.
Bill Walsh. I mean, the West Coast offense.
Yeah.
It was so revolutionary at the time, but you just see Andy Reid doing shit you don't see nobody do.
And I'll even say this: Mike Martz, man, when him and Dick Vermeil got together, that was incredible to watch. Like it was. But what I agree with you on Reid is, and I'll give you the pushback with Bill Walsh because you still see people trying to run Bill Walsh and stuff to this day.
Yeah.
But Andy Reid has been successful for over a long period of time. So I think Andy Reid by a mile. I think you would think that they figured it out by now, but it's like this dude just
changing it up.
Yeah, man.
And
It's something special.
And also what I like about Andy Reid, like he's not stubborn. Like he will steal somebody's plays. I've already seen 2 plays because I saw it trending on Twitter. Steve Sarkisian used for Texas this year. Andy Reid used it next week. And I know And I've never seen these plays before. It was this one jet sweep that Texas faked twice to Isaiah Bond, and he took off against Florida. I've never seen that play in my life. Then next week, Andy Reid used it with Xavier Worthy. So he's not stubborn about that. What I also like about Andy Reid, though, he distributes the ball to everybody. Everybody gets the ball in that offense.
Yeah.
Everybody, like Samaje Perine. We forgot he was around. He got the ball. We forgot Juju Smith was on the Chiefs. He had a couple catches this week. Like, he just knows how to balance it around. He does.
And if you're a good player, he's gonna get the best out of you too.
I said it last week though, see, and I know people might go crazy on me, but box office like I see. I was like, I don't think Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, not Andy Reid. I really in my heart believe that. I'm not Patrick Mahomes is one of the greats. We're not, but if he doesn't have Andy Reid, I don't think he ends up having the success that he's had in the NFL. I
think one thing, the reason why he's Patrick Mahomes that he is today is because of what you said earlier, that lost to Brady in the Super Bowl. I think that made him a more intelligent player. I think he gained something by that. By losing that game, he kind of was able to see what it took to be the man. And I think he probably walked out that game and said, "I'll never do this again. I'll never feel this way leaving out of the Super Bowl again." And his talent that he has, Andy Reid in his back pocket, and the talent that he has around him, he's turning into the best quarterback that we've ever seen right in front of our eyes.
Look, Q's ready to say something. Go ahead.
Go ahead, man. You guys said everything I wanted to say, man.
So you agree, Andy Reid? Okay, everybody agrees, Andy Reid.
It saved
but
me
hey,
5
put
minutes.
some respect on Sean Payton, though. What he did in Denver this year, we're gonna respect that.
Well, I think Sean Payton's really good with quarterbacks specifically. Like he's proven himself now with Bo Nix. Like, he literally from the start said, "I want Bo Nix." He got him, and he made him into a playoff quarterback immediately.
Yeah,
so,
I think Bo Nix is the perfect quarter. Bo Nix is the perfect quarterback for Sean Payton right now. If you remember earlier this season, him getting into an argument with Sean Payton on the sideline, giving Sean Payton that pushback. That's one thing we never saw with him and Breeze. They never disagreed in front of anybody, right? So at this point, but you saw it last year with Sean Payton fussing at Russell Wilson, like he was a kid or something, and you saw Bo Nix like, "I'm not taking that shit. No, listen, this is what happened. You be quiet and calm down and don't talk to me like that."
Well, they asked Sean Payton about that, and he said, "I actually love that Nix did that."
Yeah. He was like, he was saying gave some kind of like analogy that I really didn't like. I forgot what it was. It was like something kind of like breaking a bull or something like that. He said he has a lot of something in him. I can't remember what he said, man. I'll have to find it and tell you next week. But I didn't really like the analogy. I was like, that's a big pause.
But also with I'll also mention Sean McVay. We know what a great mind he is, but he took Jared Goff to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Then he won it with Stafford. And we have to remember, Reid didn't win his first title after, I think he was in Philadelphia for 14 years, and it took like 5 years in Kansas City. So as a head coach, it took him basically 20 years. And so McVay is in his early 40s, already has a ring. So McVay's got a long time to go.
Yep, that's true.
I don't know, McVay. They were talking about McVay retiring after he won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I did read that, but for now he's invested, so we'll see how long.
Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, I don't believe Andy Reid became elite until he got to Kansas City. I think he was a really good coach, but when he got in Kansas City, I think everything clicked. Like everything that he needed to do to become a Super Bowl winning coach. Came. He even was on his way with Alex Smith, and Mahomes just falling into his laps was the best thing that could ever happen to him. And
that's what I was saying with McVay. Like, Reid got to the Super Bowl with McNabb. He reached the ceiling and saw he couldn't without that quarterback. Same thing with McVay. Reached the Super Bowl with Goff. And he's like, I need that special guy. Took Stafford and won it. So it's like you still need a really good quarterback.
Years off the chain. Hey, bro, we wrapping this up. I'll go first, y'all. Hey, shout out to y'all boys, man. I can't deal with Keel tonight, y'all. Keel off the chain. Hey, man, shout out to my son Titan. He's 5 months today. Man, 5 months, man. That fast, man.
Whoa,
That
big Titan.
that flew by, but we gonna have a good time, man, and we gonna continue to make these precious and awesome and dope moments, man. But shout out to y'all boys, man. Love being on here with y'all boys, man. We gonna kick it next week. I'm gonna tell y'all why the Eagles will. Nah, I'll leave it till next week.
Oh, really? Really? Huh?
Okay, I'll go next. Shout out to Titan. He had more months now in his life than the Tennessee Titans had wins this year. And man, I love that the Saints are going back to their roots. This is gonna be so fun with y'all next couple of years.
Yo,
Mm-mm-mm.
bruh, that dude is crazy, bruh. Hey, see, don't worry about it. See, his quarterback's Anthony Richardson, so we don't even argue about
Yeah,
that.
no. I'm not worried about it. We'll be in the Super Bowl before his team will.
Yeah,
No
Spencer
doubt.
Rattler, we not paying him big money. They paying Anthony Richardson, what, top 10 money? That's crazy.
Well, we are not paying Richardson. Richardson's still on a rookie deal. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
but it's better than y'all paying him more than what we paying Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, well, neither ain't anything right now.
We got big Derek Carr. We good.
Bruh, stop, see. See, why you making it hard for us out here, man?
Anyway,
He's still in 2016.
you in the 80s. You weren't even born when you had that on the head. Hell up. Anyway, man. My last minute shout outs, I always go to my family, Hunter Morgan, Tori, Christian Ali, and Edward Daddy. Love y'all. I see you in just a second. To my beautiful wife, Latricia, I love you too. I see you in just a second. To my grandbabies, Pat Pap's babies, Marcel Carter Bryant, and Azaria Grace Bryant. Pat Pap, love y'all. I see you in just a second, even if it's just on my screensaver. Matter of fact, I'm calling in to work tomorrow to take care of them, babysit. My son got something to do, so hey, I'm gonna be kicking it with them tomorrow. And everybody over there, the NBS crew, man, appreciate y'all boys for having me on here again. Peace. I'll be stuck y'all around again next week.
Nah, I was laughing because this fool Yvonne told me earlier today. He was like, let's try to do a 2-hour show tonight. I was like, all right, well, let's do that then. I want to get off early. We're about to be at 3 freaking hours right now. That's why I'm laughing right now.
Bruh, that's unreal.
But anyways, no.
2 hours last week.
But anyways, man, shout out to X, shout out to C, shout out to Mr. Box Office, man. Shout out to everybody that tunes and supports the show. Got a lot of content dropping, man. We'll be talking about the Super Bowl next week. But with that being said, man, this is the Nbs Show, episode 77. Until then, we'll see you guys next time.
Boot up or shut up.